Namaste. Yes.
Okay.
More of a night guy.
Students, yesterday, Mandar, you gave an exercise number 2, right?
Yeah.
What was the exercise? Could you just repeat it, please, if you don't mind?
Yeah. Just a minute.
Students have uploaded the exercise number 2 on h.dklabs.in. If you go and see there, it will be. One minute, let me share my screen. Okay.
So I had a doubt that
Exercise number 2. You
so
got
it was supposed to be in the form of a doodle, right? Or was it supposed to be like a proper sketch? Because I did it in the form of a small, quick doodle.
I think Mandar would explain what he was required.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just trying to show the what we did.
Some have already uploaded their sketches here.
Yeah, I was seeing it in the morning. I've seen a few of them in the morning. Trying to find it. Yeah. So it was supposed to be in a form of. Give me a couple of minutes. So. Seem to have lost that page, but okay. So yes, it was. We looked at 3 objectives. So we started with the question as to why do we sketch? Then we looked at the 3 objectives. One could be to observe things. One could be to create new ideas, and the last would be to communicate them. Yeah. So we saw we took a hairdryer as an example, and we did a few sketches for the observe part. So for example, if you can see my sketch. Yeah. So part 1 was observe, and we broke down, we deconstructed objects. We took hairdryer as an example, let's say. And then the part 2 was where we were saying that use the same product and maybe add something to it, combine it with something new. And then I don't have that same here. And then we did a lot of we did some demos, let's say. And then we did things like these. So this is from not from yesterday, but so I'm expecting quick sketches. So something like this. So this was for a toothbrush, let's say. So yes, you were not supposed to do a final finished sketch. The idea was not to do an object which looks like the hairdryer, but it was more of a visual journal where you would document and put down all the ideas which come to your mind. Yes, so we were saying that we talked we started with the question yesterday in terms of why do we sketch. We looked at how do you use sketching to observe things and to understand things. Then we moved on to how to use it to create. We talked about this uh, that you create and perceive at the same time. So these were some of the examples of what we did yesterday. We looked at a hair dryer, and then we said that, okay, why don't we combine a hair dryer with something different? So we did this. We did a hair dryer plus a speaker, and we took it in some various directions. Some of them were quite conceptual. You would say that they were not very believable. You could not believe that they sounded like science fiction. But we talked about that as well, that during the addition phase, we are not really going to judge ourselves. We're not really going to test the idea. The whole objective is to be fast and to put the ideas, put your thoughts down on paper. And we had, so these are the kind of sketches. This is the kind of detail that we're expecting at this stage. We also saw, we came back to this third idea where, there was sound, and because you're drying hair through sound, let's say, the hair dryer could be held in a different way. We also talked about how to use things around you. So it could be your hand, it could be, can the other video be spotlighted, Sean or Dion? I don't know if you're are you able to see the video, the sketch video, the sketch?
No, Mandar.
No, sir.
Sir, I just pinned that video so I can see it. I just
Okay.
pinned
So
that.
same.
Yes, sir, we can pin the video, then we can see it better.
Okay, so I'll do a quick recap. Yeah, so these are the kind of things that we were doing. We saw a demo yesterday and we started to do. You would see that they don't have any shading, they don't have any hatching. They probably don't look good, but they're enough to understand the idea for me, and they're enough to uh, put the idea on paper and then move on to the next part. We also talked about the validity of the ideas, right? Because at the end of the day, the whatever ideas we have, they have to exist in the real world. So, and we said that, yeah, but then, you have drying hair with sound seems like a very alien concept. But it's fine because we have only spent 10 or 15 minutes on it. And unless we get the crazy ideas out, they will not probably, uh, we'll probably end up doing the same thing again and again. So we are not saying that we are going to build a snake or a spring coil like hair dryer which has a speaker inside and which will dry your hair. You're not going to spend 6 months building it. We have just sketched it out as a thought. Maybe someone else will see this and then they will have some other idea which will spark, and then the conversation can go on. Or even if it's rejected, if it's too vague, it's too magical, it's like the Aladdin's flying carpet, right? So if that's the case, we can reject it. And that's okay.
Uh, Mandar, just a small thing. There are many students who have come in today and didn't attend yesterday. So
Okay,
they were asking what do they do. So maybe, I mean, you can just brief them. They will get the recording maybe later, but at
sure,
least they can do today in its entirety today now in the
sure,
evening. So
sure.
yeah, they
Thanks.
can.
Yeah,
Sham,
yeah,
I would just like to add to that. Those who missed yesterday's class, a recording will be put up on our platform DQ Edge under the same exercises up there. It will be put up. So those who missed yesterday, it will be put up. So quite frankly, let's not, you all can watch the video, so let's not waste time possibly going back to yesterday. We can continue for those who have attended. If you missed it, you can watch the video and watch the recording. Okay, it will be put up.
Yeah, and they can upload the assignment accordingly for yesterday's, so they will get the certificate if they attend today's and this,
sure.
and if they have uploaded. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Just
in the meantime, anyway, we'll spend another, let's say 20 minutes sketching and ideating. So for those who have come in new, we are doing product A plus B. So you can choose any handheld product. So it could be a mouse, it could be a wallet, it could be a pen, let's say. So choose any and combine it with a new product. So yesterday we did hair dryer plus Bluetooth speaker. It could be a pen plus a eraser or plus time, or it could be anything you want. Yeah. I'm also going to do a little bit of sketching. So I encourage everyone to continue to develop on their ideas for the next maybe 20-25 minutes, let's say half an hour. And then we'll move to objective 3, where we will see that how to take this idea now and to communicate it a little better. Yeah. So let's keep it as a working time for the next half an hour. And in the meantime, I'm looking at some of the work which you have submitted. I see very interesting ideas. Maybe I'll speak about them as well. I have a scissor plus Fevicol, quite cool. Veda, quite cool.
Yes, sir.
Nicely drawn as well. I can see that you have done that. I see some mind maps, some word map where you're looking at what is a glue, the scissors. So that's nice.
Mandar, could you share your screen, please?
Yes, I can probably, so maybe I can, let me share my screen here. Yeah. Are you able to see this now?
Yes, we can see it. Yes.
Yeah. So maybe we can, yeah, for let's say 10-15 minutes, we can keep this screen and not the. Yeah. Are you able to see the screen and hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying, so it's an interesting combination of products. So that's nice. I also see that you have uh, looked at both the words. You have idea 1 and idea 2. Also, maybe what you could do is maybe do a few more. I think both the ideas are a little bit straightforward. Let's say now where
Yes, sir.
it's the Fevicol which is to be dispersed. Let's say, but think of something else. Maybe it could be scissor plus Fevicol, but not in a regular way. So because you're cutting, it's almost like the it's almost like yin and yang, right? Because in one action you're cutting things out, and the other action you're gluing them back. So I'm sure you've seen this salt and pepper shakers, right? Which is like a yin and yang. So can you then reimagine the scissor where maybe one part is cutting and the other part is gluing? Or can the gluing action also be similar to cutting, where cutting is easier, right? Because you just cut. For gluing, you have to hold both papers and then you have to put the glue, and usually there is more glue and then it drips and so on. So now try to, this is good as a first thought, but try to give it, let's say, an emotional meaning as well, or a simple,
Sure, sir.
yeah,
Yeah.
but nice. Chaitanya uploaded a photo. No, okay. Okay, but nice. I think you are trying to do the mosquito repellent and a night lamp. Okay. Yeah, it it makes sense. But again, it's so how can you take it to the extreme, or how can you have an idea which is super creative, let's say? So uh, try to push the idea a little bit more, because if you are saying that it's a mosquito repellent and a night lamp, does it mean that the night lamp will also going to repel the mosquitoes? Or this gives me an idea of a lighthouse, right, where a lighthouse told the ships where the shore was and kept them away from danger. So imagine a dark room and you have this night lamp, and now maybe I also try to think of it from the point of view of the mosquito. So is the mosquito attracted to light? There could be some stories there. Yeah.
Yes, sir, I'll definitely look into it.
Okay. This is interesting. Okay, your combs hair shows time. Uh, Bhavya. Nicely done, Bhavya. I see a lot of detail. I see an interesting idea as well, where you have the glowing teeth that display the time. It's like it can show how much time you have been spending combing your hair, let's say. Interesting. Um, Combs automatically. Okay. I think you spend a lot of time on the drawing as well. It's a complex thing to do because it's cylindrical and then you have all these bristles coming around. But you have nice ideas here, and many ideas. You have the comb watch as well. That's also interesting, where I'm guessing it fits, and you have shown it here as well. Sorry, you have shown it here, so that's nice. This is also good. You have shown the arrows and you've shown how things will be. I think the next step would be to maybe make it more like a product. But as an idea stage, I think it's looking good. Um, of course, I think so. You're at maybe stage 2, where you see some interesting thoughts, some interesting ideas here. Think of, so let's say here you have a normal looking brush comb, right? And then you have all these dots. Think of what else could it be which could make it more interesting. Do you want to keep the shape of the comb the same, or do you want to change it to make it look, let's say, should the shape communicate this new feature also? So can it be something which is quite flat? Uh, Also, you have something interesting because you have like a dot matrix or a LCD pattern, and then you have the brushes. So when things light up, maybe the length of the brush can also light up. Let's say right now you're looking at a 2D time, but the brush is 3D, right? So
Yes, sir.
what if it could be like a 3D time? Say, I'm just thinking it could be like a hologram, right? When you turn the brush and the different lights, so it could be interesting. So try to make it, take it to the extreme again,
Okay.
but really nice ideas.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, specs. Always
So
difficult.
could you maybe refresh your page?
Yeah. I'll refresh my page. I'll just see these because I'm not going to see all. We'll not have time for all. So this few more, I'll refresh the page as well. Switch off when the eyes close, blink sensor movement. And clock direction. Okay. So that's Rachita. I think you have an interesting idea here, where you have a blink sensor, and when things it understands when you're blinking and where you're looking, and I'm guessing it's a clock, right? It's a,
Yes, sir. It's supposed to like the numbers on the remote. So basically, so can you hear me?
yeah.
Yes, sir. So it's basically you move your eye according to the numbers on the clock. The second
Correct,
idea.
correct.
Yeah.
In
So
terms of your
those are the.
sketch, I still feel that you see this point here, this point here, this point here. Your lines are still stopping at the middle. So if you're drawing an ellipse or a circle, make sure you draw the entire circle.
Yes.
Yeah, and not stop in the middle. Even here, you will see that you're stopping in the middle. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
cool. Let me refresh the page. Okay. I hope the others are sketching, trying to have more ideas, trying to take it a little bit more extreme. So it's a Bluetooth helmet and a Bluetooth headphone. Okay. Helmets, again, it's a little tough to do because you have, it's a spherical object. There's a lot of ellipses and so on. For this, I feel that again, it's helmet plus a Bluetooth. Right? So the helmet is the helmet, and then it's almost like it's a cut pasted Bluetooth thing. So try to go beyond just the first idea. I think it's a good start for sure, but think of what it could be, because right now the Bluetooth is something which is coming from the helmet and going into the ear, right? So should it be like that? Should you be able to see the helmet separately and the Bluetooth separate in your idea, or can you combine the two a little bit better? Maybe you have the strap, maybe the strap has some soft element which kind of covers the ear, which becomes your Bluetooth.
So a product like this already exists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's it not in a, I don't know if it's in a bicycle helmet as such, but on a motorcycle helmet it has speakers on, like, inbuilt on both the ears for intercom connection between two helmets or any of the sort.
Sure. Yeah. So now the thing is, how can you go beyond it, right? In terms of, so it could be a new form, it could be a new shape, it could be a new use for the Bluetooth, because it plus Bluetooth, but maybe, or Bluetooth speaker, but maybe it's not for the intercom, it's not for music, it's not for calls, maybe it's for something else, right? So I think it's a good attempt. I also like the fact that you're drawing different views of the object, but I still feel that you have gone to the next stage where you're trying to draw the helmet.
Yes.
Not really looking at the idea so much. You're still concerned with how to draw the helmet and how to make it look like a helmet. Yeah. So okay.
Thank you.
Yes, we've seen vintage games and modern devices through emulators. Okay, modern devices, vintage games. Okay, I think this is an existing scenario that you have sketched out. I feel I don't see the idea here so much. I understand that you want to bring back the old school arcade environment and do it on modern devices, so that you can do through emulators. Okay, but emulators already exist, so I'm not seeing what is new. What is your thought here, Samita? Okay. Mm, Again, as an overall rule, it's better to have a very outlandish a very extreme idea on paper, rather than spending 6 months trying to build it and then realize that, oh, this idea actually does not work. Yeah. uh, Room freshener plus a vase. Okay. Hello.
Yes.
And I see one idea here where room freshener and a vase combined. uh, Maybe draw smaller, think of other ways in which it's interesting because it dispenses the scent from the flowers. So it's actually the essence and the smell of the flower, the scent of the flower. Uh, so now think of what could it be? Again, should it look like a vase? Should it look like something else? Do you need the vase at all? Can the flowers stand on their own and maybe you have only a small clip or a small product which clips onto them? Or maybe you have flowers and you put a rubber band kind of a thing, and that itself becomes something which takes the essence and so on. So always try to look at something, and whenever you look at a very ubiquitous product, right? So you have a vase and the been there for a long time, right? So think of what could it be? Can you delete the product completely and can you make it small? Can you make it big and so on? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, this one was also nice. I see a lot of ideas here. It's a stethoscope and a copy paste. Okay. I see image of patient's heart, better to understand the problem, where it's almost like a portable X-ray kind of a thing where you are kind of able to see it. I see some interesting shapes as well. And you have stethoscope as a hearing, beat, ear, copy music, copies image and copies sound. Okay. And
Excuse
then
me,
it,
sir.
yeah.
So actually, the second idea, I don't know if it is scientifically sound, but
Mhm.
I just had this thought that the copy paste copies like it scans the images, right? And the
Mhm.
stethoscope is associated with sounds and vibrations. So I thought somehow if it can copy the sound and it can be used to create some 3D images with background
Yeah,
music
why not?
or some animation in the field
Yeah,
of
why not?
animation. So that was what I was going for.
Why not? Why not? Yeah, yeah. Try to look at now, this one idea can then branch out into many more, where it could be what you're capturing from the right now. What happens with the stethoscope is um, it's kind of encrypted, right? You need to be a doctor really to get gauge a lot or understand a lot of things from simple sounds. So it could be the heartbeat, it could be the lungs, it could be other things, right? So maybe this is a stethoscope which really simplifies things, or it's an augmented stethoscope, let's say, which maybe it can create, like you're saying here, maybe. So go into the detail of when you say animations, okay, it could be for what? Is it an animation of the actual heart, and where you, is it a tool where maybe it could be for kids, and then you point it at someone's heart, and then you can kind of see the heart, and
Yes, sir.
the more you breathe, the faster it beats, or there could be all these applications for it. So whenever you have an idea like this which is a little bit far reaching, let's say, try to take one scenario. So when you say animations, and right now you're talking of maybe people where there's the sound and the music, maybe think of what could be the best scenario to explain this, and take one example and build it from there. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. Cool. Okay, Neha, so you have your 10 shape plus DO, spray out and push. Okay, so it's a DO, but I don't know what attains the shape.
So actually it's a sharpener. So I have a sharpener like this.
Okay, okay.
So it has a hole in like to hold your hand in, but I never really use that hole to actually
Okay.
sharpen. I mean,
Mhm.
put my finger in it to sharpen. So I thought, why not put something in there and push it from one side so it sprays out on the other side. So like DOs require that, container, otherwise they
Correct.
can't be in that temperature to come out. So I thought it requires a container. So the hole which is inbuilt in the sharpener could be used for that.
Okay, why not? So here you have looked at two physical products and try to combine them in terms of, okay, this could fit inside the other and so on. What you could also try to do is, because here, in terms of the use of the product, right, it doesn't make so much sense, or it's not quite interesting because, okay, you have a sharpener and then you have a DO, and why would you need both at the same time? Or they seem quite disconnected as uses, let's say, as two shapes which can fit inside each other, or which can complement. Why not? But for example, if the same could be for a eraser, let's say, then it might make more sense, right? Because you can sharpen the pencil
Yeah,
and
makes sense. Yeah.
but if you're
But I think I've seen a lot of sharpeners and erasers.
yeah.
So it was just sitting there and I thought about it.
Excuse
So
me, sir.
yeah.
Sir, actually, I was facing some connectivity issues from past 20 minutes. So can you just tell me in brief what we had to do? My internet
You
was
have to
down.
continue your
Yesterday's
ideation.
exercise?
Yes, continue till
Okay.
11:15, or let's say another 5 minutes. Yeah,
Okay,
continue
sir.
looking at new ideas as well. Yeah, so I think we'll
Okay.
just do one last. I'm going to refresh it.
Thank you, sir.
We'll move on to our next objective, because then that will give us about 2 hours to finish it in class.
Yes, Mandar, sorry to interrupt. Those Soham, anybody, whoever's come late, whoever's missed yesterday's class, the recordings for yesterday and today's class will be put in the same page where today's assignments are uploaded. It'll be put after 1 or 2 days. So even if you missed the beginnings, the session so far, you'll still be able to catch up with it. Okay, sorry. Yeah, please continue.
This is interesting. You have a pillow, soft music, and pleasant scent. Bluetooth connects to okay smell that helps you sleep. Okay. Again, this is an example of maybe an idea where it's still at a very basic level, which is fine. But I think you need to go beyond it as well. I think the core idea is interesting. You're looking at something where you're trying to make the pillow smart, or you're trying to augment the pillow with another function, let's say. So how would you uh, to the next stage, or what could be the other ideas? I also like the fact that you've drawn the person, so I can, looking at your page, I can understand the idea. Even if you don't have all the text, I think it's good because you have managed to convey the idea to me. That's good. Try to work more in terms of so let's say you have a pillow, right? So are there any qualities of the pillow that you can use? Okay, the pillow is soft, the pillow kind of changes shape. Try to go back to your own personal experiences as well. Usually, for me, the pillow has two sides, right? So there is always a colder side, like there's the warm side where you're sleeping, and then there's the other side. So can you, and this flipping action of the pillow is also something interesting. So can you maybe, can the music be combined with that, like when you flip it, or can the music when you said that it's soft music, this is more of a scenario, right? Because it's not so much about the shape of the pillow, but about what it does. So started this scenario here where I can see and nicely done, the ZZZ. I can see that the person is sleeping. We do a few more sketches of the scenario. So it could be music, which turns off. Uh, Maybe it doesn't need to connect to the phone and the tablet. Maybe it does. I don't know. So think of other ways in which, what are the other actions associated with sleeping? Maybe the pillow can also sense your head, right? Because you are on the pillow. And maybe when you turn, the music also turns so that it helps you sleep, or I don't know. there could be other ideas around it. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right. So I think we'll stop for now and we'll move to the.
Sir, could you just check mine? It was right
Sorry?
there at the top. Sorry to interrupt. Could you just check mine?
I can't. Is there someone speaking? It's the voice is really.
Sir, could you check mine? It was there at the top. I thought I made a different idea.
Okay, let me just see where it was. Which one was it?
Sir, it's the pen underneath that.
This one? Pulkit?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you have a pen and you have Skittles candy. Oh, you have a candy pen. Weight of candy balances the pen ergonomic side of a pen plus candy dispenser. You're never out of energy when you are sketching, is it, Pulkit?
Yes, sir.
Sugar rush. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you're saying candy dispenser, but I don't see like from where the candies can come out. And again,
There's so that's like the basic Skittles holder. Actually, it's not more of a dispenser. So it's just a lid on the top. So you just take it out, like and
yeah. So it's a classic example of two products which have been put together. But if you look at the use, let's say, it also means that when you are sketching with this pen, it's going to make some noise, right? Because it's going to move around. And when you say weight of the candy balances the pen, the more candies you eat, it's going to, because the weight of the candy is not really fixed, right? Because once you eat a few, it's going to change. So why would you combine it? Because it also means that now you have a heavy pen, you have something which is a pen and you're drawing with it. Whereas all the time we are saying that you need something which is light, or you need, you need a pen which will, so is this going to help what you're doing with the pen, or is it going to hinder it? What do you feel?
yes, sir. So that was kind of the point of the other that like the curve I've made.
Yeah.
So it's you can sort of rest your hand on it.
Okay.
So even if because the as it becomes lighter, the case is still there, like that whole rectangular dispenser is still there. So I thought that maybe that would be enough to because
And
once
what would
you
have
eat them, it becomes
helped
lighter.
for me to understand this also would have been a sketch of the hand to kind of show how it is hold and how do you take it out and so on. Yeah.
So if you just don't mind, can I add some point to this?
Sure.
So as suppose we have an individual pen weight plus the candy box weight. So what I think is this: when the Skittle box is full, like the candy weight plus the box weight, sir. So if that pen includes that, like pen weight plus that weight, so even if the candy box would get empty, it wouldn't affect, and the handrest is still there. So all the points balance out, and plus you can enjoy a good candy through your sketching. How's that?
Okay, but my question still is that why should it be attached to the pen? Why can't you have a candy box right next to your table?
So maybe it can be detachable also, right?
Yes, but then why does
Maybe it's for people who struggle with pencil biting, like a lot of kids and a lot of people with anxiety. They struggle with that they're continuously biting the back of their pen, and many
Yes.
times it's not good for their health either.
Yeah. So that's an interesting point, because then that makes it that puts context, right, as to why it should be attached to the pen. Now again, the question would also be that if you want to get people away from this habit, is this going to help them break the habit, or is this going to help them, or is it?
But so people struggling with
It
anxiety,
will.
not many times can they help it, right? It just automatically happens to them. And it
Yeah.
actually helps them relieve their anxiety. So maybe they need something to bite on at that point.
Maybe, yes, maybe.
But this will
Also,
further fuel their behavior.
or sir, maybe more than Skittles, we can put some chewing gum. So even if they have anxiety, they could chew on that thing for hours and not get hyped up over it.
But
sorry.
then when
You
you
are
start
encouraging.
chewing, it will become like a
Isn't gum
reward for chewing, right?
not allowed in the class?
See, not allowed in the class is one point, but if we are talking about anxiety and ADHD, maybe this could take part, you know.
Sir, can I add a point?
You can even use it for children teething, like the ones that use like really like random crayons. You can hand it to them, and while they're teething, they could even bite on like maybe it gives lemon juice, like one of those pacifiers. So you can use it like that as well.
But like Pacifier on the pen.
when you're talking about like using candies for people, for the kids who have pencil biting habits, what if they bite the dabba instead?
Exactly my point. They would probably just end up biting the box. I mean, for
Can
people who have
I
anxiety.
Okay,
Can I
so
add a point?
there's one more thing I would like to say, that instead of the box, maybe we could put a chewer, like if the kids are going to use. So if they keep chewing it, then that will help their anxiety, like a chewer at
But
the
that'll be
end.
unhygienic. That'll be very unhygienic for the parents.
Especially in this situation.
Yeah.
It's like you're giving a reward for chewing. The back of
Exactly.
the
Nobody
pencil.
keeps their pens and pencils in a clean place. They just throw it on the desk and go away.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe then we'll have to think about a different situation with a disinfectant, but the pen would be so costly, so let's not take it to the next level.
And also, if we keep chewing the pencil, when will we sketch? Like,
I mean, it's not like you keep chewing like with intent, right? I mean, like
It's actually better to make the back.
actually better to have a chewing gum in your mouth and keep sketching. That is way better than having
Yeah.
No,
chewing
if
gum
you make
on
the
a
back part
pencil.
taste bad, then they would stop it altogether.
No, it's like you keep a candy box in front of you and expect yourself not to eat it.
Yeah, exactly. It will get over in like half an hour.
Yeah, though I don't like candies, that's a different story, but still.
Okay,
You
just
keep a
let's
candy
just
box
move
right in
on,
front of
let's
you.
just move on to another context. Maybe
Yeah, it's
we
just not
can't
gonna work.
improvise on this because it won't fit in many people's opinion. I mean, like
Yeah.
it can contradict. So let's move on.
Should we? I'm okay with this conversation. See, one sketch has passed part of such a big conversation, right?
We could converse still, but I don't think it's gonna end anywhere.
Yes, it has no
I
end.
think there should be a proper situation and a proper what do we say, condition to it. Until then, it's probably of like for now not much of a use, I would say.
All right.
The anxiety part was really nice though. The
Yeah,
chewing
that
thing.
point is good.
All right, so let's move on. I think a lot of valid points in terms of why, how, what is ethical, if you keep chewing, when will you sketch, so on and so forth. All right, so about 11:20. So we're going to move on to our third objective. But before we do, maybe I thought I would share some examples, some more examples. So if you can pin the other video where you can sketch, or you can see the A4 papers. Should I mute this and talk there? Maybe that will be.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, so I thought I would share, let's say, one more example. So this time of a toothbrush. So we were doing a few exercises in school where we are studying famous designers and the work they did and what it represented and so on. And then we are trying to design or to make new versions of existing products in a way that would fit in that world. So just give me 1 minute. Trying to organize the pages a bit. Yeah. So have you heard of Zaha Hadid?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So she's a world famous architect.
Yeah. Yeah. So this was an exercise for that. So we started with again the same thing. So if you see this here, we started with understanding. So you would see that there are a lot of forms, a lot of waves, a lot of patterns, a lot of organic shapes, let's say. So buildings don't look like buildings. They look like, they look very organic, very natural. You can feel that they have almost grown out of the ground. So we did a few sketch pages to understand and to try to decipher it. We put some keywords down as well. So there's alive, breathing, contrast, because there are big curves and then there are small details. There is nature, flow, pattern, almost like a germinating. Hello? Are you able to see?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Germinating, we also thought that there was a kind of a motion. So you would see that there's a lot of lines and a motion. So this was the first page. And then
Sir, your video is muted.
hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Was it mute in the middle?
Yes, sir.
So it got muted automatically.
All
So
right.
just last
Now it's
2
okay, right?
seconds.
Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. So this was a page where we understood, at least try to understand the characteristic or the flavor, let's say, of her design philosophy. Yeah. And then we said that we also sketched out some of her buildings. Yeah, so you would see that it's quite rough. We also started with very loose lines and we kind of made the sketch out of that. We tried to highlight the important parts, yeah, and not really go into the detail. We also thought that it's all about the scale as well, right? So we try to indicate a little some human figures here to explain the scale. So this was our observe part where we try to observe and use sketching as a tool to really understand things. And then we said that, okay, we have understood this and we followed a similar process and we started to think about what could be a toothbrush. So just give me a minute. Yeah, so you would see that again, the sketches are quite loose. They are quite, so this was an idea of a toothbrush is quite functional, right? But what if it could, in the future, it could become like pleasure. So it's a pleasurable activity. You don't need to brush your teeth, but maybe you do it for fun. Let's say we are thinking of, can it be a companion or a communicator or a massager, let's say, or a health meter or a health check. Can it be like a chewing gum, or can you wear your toothbrush? So this was an idea where, like braces, you wear your toothbrush and it automatically brushes your teeth anytime you eat. So you don't physically require you don't require a physical toothbrush, let's say. So this was one thought. um, this was another where we started with existing toothbrushes to understand how they are, how the shapes are. We are thinking of how two toothbrushes are held. This was I think one of the first ideas where we thought that when you keep the toothbrush horizontally, it kind of forms an arch. And somehow if you keep many like that, they kind of form like a building, maybe like a city, let's say. So there was this idea of what if instead of keeping the toothbrushes vertically, you can keep them horizontally and make like a little city out of it. Brush city, let's say. There was another idea like this where you have the bristles and you have the handle, but what if I delete the handle itself, right? And what if the toothbrush may be something which is fits into my finger, and I go back to the old school way of brushing teeth where we
But
used
so
to
that's actually there with Johnson and Johnson. They have these brushes for kids.
Yeah.
yeah
Yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was thinking that what if it could be something like that, and then we're trying to see that okay, there could be bristles, there could be this. This idea also led to this idea of like a tuning fork, where what if you could multiply the effect? where you kind of brush your teeth once, but there are three prongs to it. So it gets brushed three times, let's say. There was this another idea which came to mind was you've seen these lens cart advertisements, right? Where you have the person in the middle and there's this whole 3D framework around it. So what if you could do something there? Again, some vague ideas, not really talking of something realistic. Uh, Also, I was thinking of Zahadid and the way everything looks very defined, everything looks very simple, very finished, right? You don't have anything protruding out.
So,
So hello?
I'm sorry to interrupt, but can I just tell something according to the lens card thing you told?
Yeah.
So you told that in the lens card advertisements, people according to their faces, like there is a 3D match for your specs. So why not people standing in the dome have a 3D match for their brushes according to the teeth size or teeth variations?
Yeah, absolutely.
They would just like do E and then the brush would choose them. Like this is for your teeth size, this is the paste or something like that.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not? Absolutely, yes.
So maybe that would be
Um,
a major part in communication design, like if Oral B could, implement it.
Yeah, could be.
Catchy technology and attractive too. So that's
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So this was another where, where we were thinking that what if the brushes, the bristles could pop out. So when you're not using them, the bristles are kind of inside, and it looks like a nice clean form. Let's say. So that was one idea. Um, this was brushing in some way was also about a brush. You don't use it on its own, right? You always use it with a toothpaste. So of course there were some very cliched ideas of combining a toothpaste with a brush and so on. There was also this. Uh, Brushing is also it's related to energy and morning and getting up with energy and all of that. So maybe there could be an energy meter or something in that spring here. So this was another idea. um, and not every time we started with drawing a brush. So sometimes we started like this as well, where it was just letting the pen free, letting the hand free, and trying to not start with a very rigid and a very clear understanding of a brush, but maybe starting with some lines. Yeah. So that those were some examples of. Yeah, let's stop there. And then we came to maybe trying to take that brush city concept and make it a little better, develop it more. So we'll see that together here. There was also another concept. So you would see that now the sketches are a little bit more defined. They have taken a little bit more time. So here the idea was you always have a pattern, right, for the brushes. So maybe that pattern itself could be something which is evolving. So it need not be like that. So you would have, let's say, different kinds of patterns. And there was this idea of what if the pattern became your fingerprint or like your fingerprint, let's say. So you could identify someone by the brush, let's say. There's some weird ideas there. So you would see that apart from these two, the others are very free, very loose. You would not see any shading, you would not see any details as such. There's a lot of lines. So they are all, I would say, visual documentation of the thought process. Yeah. Now, how would you, let's say you also have a few ideas. So how would you go ahead and develop these ideas or use this sketching for the third objective, which is to communicate? Okay, so this was not related, but this is the kind of output that maybe we could expect at the end of the workshop, where again, I'm not getting into rendering a product, but you would see that I'm using a little bit of color. I'm using a little bit of contrast to really kind of explain the concept well, right? Where there's something about the packaging, there is something about the name of the concept, there is how the concept looks. So I have something which shows the details of how it would look. I have the USP where the lower half can be changed and you could do some interesting, let's say, character animations here. I have some details. And then I have laid it out where there is enough information on the page. Maybe it's still a little bit too crowded, let's say, but this is, let's say, the kind of output that we are expecting, where here I'm using sketching as a tool to communicate to others, and I'm taking some time to really make the sketch look effective and nice. Yeah, there's a little bit of an exploded view to kind of showcase what are the different parts which go in, right? So having looked at all of this, so let's do a quick demo and look at how we are going to develop the concept.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So for the previous page that you just showed with the green stuff, so in that one, do you have to actually plan out like which area you'll show what, or do you just start drawing?
No, you'll have to plan. So this is something that we are going to see together now, where how would you plan your communication page? So just give me a minute. Seem to have misplaced my pen. One moment. All right, anyway, we will use something else. So before we start, for the first two, we kind of directly started with the page, right? We were not very concerned about the other things. But for this one, our goal is to communicate what we have in mind so that the other person can understand it and it looks good, it looks clear, it's efficient in terms of communication. So now let's take so I'm going to take an example of
So what is the topic right now? Like, what are we supposed to ideate on?
So we are not ideating anymore. We are going to take what we have done yesterday. So it could be a hairdryer plus a speaker or any of the other things that you have done. And we're going to take one idea from there and we are going to develop it into a concept page. So what we want by 1 o'clock, which is 1.5 hours from now, is a concept page like this for any one of the idea which you have done yesterday. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Right. So our ideation time is over. We are going to select one idea and then try to take it to the next level. So usually this is the kind of progress that we do in terms of using sketching. So when you're ideating, you do a lot of small sketches or thumbnails. Then you maybe move to a bigger page and do the ideas and then move on to an A4 page for the concept. So as you go ahead in the process, you're spending more and more time on each sheet and you're doing less and less sheets, let's say. So you would probably do 100 post-its and then 20 A5s and then let's say 5 A4s, and these 5 A4 sheets become your concept pages. Yeah. So now before we get to doing this concept page, there are some questions that we should ask ourselves, right? So first, what are the things that we want to say about? So let's say we are doing the hair dryer, the plus sound, right? And we have that idea. So what is it that we are trying to say? First, we are trying to say, let's say, so how does your idea look? So in terms of the form, in terms of the shape, in terms of maybe the color, in terms of, physically, how does it look, right? So that's the basic. Probably for some of the ideas, we can say that, okay, how does it work, right? So if you have sound and hair drying, you have to probably show a little bit of how will it work. Now, we are not saying that you have to prove that it works like this, but we are just saying that, okay, as a concept, this is how it will work. Maybe the other thing is, we all know what a USP is. What is the unique selling point, or what is the unique selling proposition of this idea? It's a hair dryer plus sound, but what is the one thing which is unique about it? This is something that we also need to showcase, right, in that page. Anything else you feel we need to showcase? How does it look? How does it work? What is the USP?
So is it accessibility or how easy it is to use?
So that probably should be covered in how does it work and the USP.
So
Let's say.
affordability.
Sorry.
How sustainable it is.
Affordably. You can go ahead.
Affordability and
How long it'll last?
Affordability and sustainability, right? Someone was saying.
Yes, sir.
Or even the portability. How easily can you
For
carry
me,
it?
at the concept stage, again, it's going to depend on the kind of project that you're doing. But if the entire brief is based around affordability and sustainability, then probably you would that would be the USP. Let's say, if you're talking of affordability, I think that will come a little later in the development stage, unless you're saying that, okay, this is a hair dryer which does not have a plastic component, and that's why it costs, let's say, 50% less. But at this point, it's going to be not in terms of cost and material and sustainability, let's say, so much, but in terms of the initial concept or initial idea. Maybe where it is kept. You could also talk about a scenario.
And also, if it is like very necessary for people to buy it.
Sorry.
And also, if it is very necessary for why people has to buy them.
Yeah. So that could be the scenario, let's say, where you're saying that, okay, this is something that people need. Why would people buy it? So this would be covered under the USP or the scenario. Yeah.
Target audience.
Audience, maybe, again, it will be covered under the scenario, actually, for me. So let's say these are a few big.
Be disposed.
How will it be disposed? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so we can say product life cycle. So right from how it will be made, how it will be used, how it will be disposed, sustainability, all of it. Okay, so let's, and you could add many more to it. Now, what we're doing is we are moving from a doodle, which was just a quick sketch and an idea, to a concept, right? Including everything is going to make it a design proposal. In terms of you could talk about product life cycle, you could talk about bill of materials, you could talk of the cost, manufacturing techniques, and all of that. But I think there is an intermediate stage before that, because you're not going to do all of this for the 50 ideas which you have, right? It's not going to be possible to spend that amount of time there. So I think these four. So of course, how does it look? How does it work? What is the unique selling point? If required, where is it kept, or what is the scenario of use? So again, different products will have different priorities for these. For some, maybe how it looks will not be important because it's more about the technology. For some, how does it work will not be so important to show because it works like any other hair dryer, but it's just looking different, or it's being used in a different way, right? So all of it, what we are trying to do is something external, and we are trying to kind of build, it's like a 3D puzzle, and we are building it piece by piece, right? So let's sketch it, let's say, for 15 minutes, and then you can also sketch along. You'll have to take any one idea that you have. So it could be the scissor plus glue or anything that you've done, but only one idea and not a combination of all the ideas. So take one idea and try to develop it more. So we had the example of the hair dryer yesterday. Maybe I'm thinking I'll take another example here. Or let's take the same one. So let's start. Okay, are you able to, yes, you're able to see. So I'm going to start with the, okay, so we started with the hair dryer, and then we have the sound, and we had this idea of a spiral, let's say, which kind of becomes this, and you hold your hand. Let's say the hand is like that, and then it becomes, and let's say we want to showcase this. Now, it's a little bit complex to draw. So I'm not going to draw it directly on the final, let's say, sheet. The thing with printer paper and drawing with the ball pen is you can always put another page on top, and you can kind of trace out your final work. So we are going to plan now. Yeah. So let's say I have a page like this. For sure, I can, because the hair dryer looks very different, this particular concept, let's say. So I do want to sketch it out, let's say on one half of the page, where I can see the product and how it looks, let's say. For this particular one, I need to explain a little bit how it works also, because then people are not going to understand. So which means I need to put some development thinking into it, right? Because I have kind of a spiral spring. So now I'm thinking of how it could be a concept. So again, I have this spiral spring. Maybe it becomes, and maybe it's something which can be like that, let's say. So I'm thinking, so at this point, till now I was drawing it randomly without thinking of how it will be made and how it can be developed. Here I'm thinking that if it's a spring, then maybe attaching two springs like this is going to be tough to do. So maybe the whole spring like a straw, right? You have all seen these straws. So maybe it's like that where the entire spring bends, and you have the hand here, and let's say this entire. So I'm also, as I'm drawing, I'm thinking of how this concept can be built. So I have the two rounds which go like this, and I have this round thing which is going to come towards the camera like a cone. It's almost as if I'm holding a cone. To visualize it a little bit better, now that I have said that it's a cone, I'm thinking of maybe I can just utilize whatever is around me. I'm trying to make a cone. Okay, so let's say you make a, maybe it will be something like that. Maybe this is something that you would look. So what I'm doing is I'm using objects around me to help me to sketch, and I'm not trying to do everything from imagination. Okay, so I have a hand. Yeah, I'm darkening this so that it's a little easier to see. Ideally, I would keep it light. I have a hand. I have this coil spring like structure here. Okay. This also gives me this thing that, okay, if I do the hand like that, maybe the size of the hair dryer can also change, and it can become like a and I can link it to sound. So I started with planning it, but then I realized I had some more development to do. So let's try to draw it. Okay, so maybe the hand is like that. So I'm going to draw, look at how my hand is. Okay, so we are developing the concept a bit. So that's, let's say, approximately how the hand is. This is how the hair dryer is going to be. Okay, so that's, let's say, how the hair dryer is. Maybe and when I open the fingers, or open my palm and stretch my fingers, maybe the size changes, and this creates like a active hair drying thing. So again, I'm ideating a bit, but I'm ideating on the functionality of it now. I'm not jumping to a new idea as such. So I have it in mind. I'm a little bit more clearer about how it will be. So now
now I have a choice of how am I going to show this object. Do I want to do a 3D view, a flat view? I think I really want to show this, that it's like this and then it can become big. If I show it in this view, it's going to be quite difficult to draw and maybe not easy to understand. So I'm changing my strategy. I'm saying that maybe this is not the most important part to show. Maybe I can do what I've done here, which is like a simple hand. And I showcase how this hair dryer kind of goes around and fits. So I can probably do 2 sketches like that, where the hand is stretched in one part, and I can show that how the hair dryer stretches, let's say, with the spring like that. Whereas here it's small. Yeah. I'm also thinking that maybe I should showcase that straw so that people understand that this is how things are, this is how it's going to work here. So maybe the top part could be the working. Uh, I'll leave some space here to put some text. I'm trying to align things. I'm drawing it lightly. You would see that I'm planning still. This is not my final sheet, but I'm planning how things will be. I've purposefully drawn the. Oh yes, we have some interesting comments as well. Purposefully, I'm drawing this straw because I think it's iconic and it can really fill in for any of the gaps that I might have with the drawing here. So I don't really need to draw exactly everything. I can make people understand it. Are you able to see? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So yeah, so I have that. For this particular object, I'm thinking that maybe I don't need a 3D view because it's going to look different. And maybe I can then divide this page into half and half, let's say. So we looked at this is how it works. How it looks, I'm thinking that maybe it can be maybe one view here, which is, let's say, 3D. Maybe I need to show a little bit of a scenario. So maybe I'll try to put one scenario here where there's a mirror. I'm purposefully doing a back view of the person because then I don't have to draw the face, which is quite tough to do. And I don't want to spend time on it. And then let's say you have this, and I'm trying to I'm using the video here to look at how the hand is. Let's say something like that. And then this is where I'm kind of going to showcase that this is how it is used and this is how it works. Maybe I'll use a little bit of a color to, and then again, I'm constructing it a bit here and kind of showcasing the, I also need a name for the concept or for the idea. So maybe I'll put a name here and maybe some other information here. Yeah. So what have we done? We've gone from this page where we had this idea of a spiral spring shaped hair dryer. Then we looked at how it can be held. Then we changed or adapted our design to maybe make it a little bit more believable in terms of the shape itself. Maybe what is missing here is how does it dry the hair, right? Because you have all of this, but the question will be, yeah, all this is okay, but how does it dry the hair? So maybe doing a 3D view, maybe I can explain a little bit of the internals where, or maybe do a detailed view. So I have a 3D view here, but I can do another circle and a detailed view where it could be about the detail of that ellipse, of that spiral, and kind of showcase what are the sensors or what are the sound actuators which are present inside, like that. So then we are able to understand how it works. So how it looks and how it works, how it is used in a scenario, and the key benefit or the USP where it's like a straw and you can open and close it, right? Then,
So,
yeah.
so how do we represent, like, so if the mechanism is going within a object, then how do we show that, like, it's going between an object?
You can show it in a cut section. You can show it in a continue.
Okay.
So we'll get back to it once this is done.
Okay, sir.
We'll
Okay,
see
sir.
that as well.
Thank
Yeah.
you, sir.
So now that it's done, I'll probably, what I'll do is I'll finish this, darken it and make it a good, let's say detailed sketch. And then I'm still not happy with the layout. Maybe I want to put this up and put this down and so on, right? So after doing that, I'll probably put another page on top. Once I darken it, I'll be able to see it and then I'll manage it. So let's start to draw because it's 11:50 already. We need to finish by 1. Select one idea. Okay, so if it's about a scissor which has Fevicol, select that. One shape, one idea. And what we want to do is to do a concept page out of it. So you can sketch as you are seeing. Remember, the first thing was to develop the idea just a little bit. Then you had to plan the page in terms of looking at this. Don't look at the product life cycle. Don't look at the cost so much right now because it's only about a concept. How does it look and how does it work and what is the USP? Ideally, only these 3. Yeah. So let's start to draw, and and you can continue to watch and draw at the same time. So someone is saying you didn't understand the idea. Yeah, even I didn't understand the idea completely yet. But that's the point, that you didn't the idea about the hair dryer or idea about what we have to do. Hello, is it okay? There's some questions.
So one more thing, sir. One more thing about my concept I want to tell you, sir. It's that I'm planning on doing a concept car from my own imagination. So can I make it? It's like out of my mind and I love it. Like it just almost done. So can I develop that?
You can, but
Okay.
not now. You don't need to be in a workshop to develop that, right? Because you have not seen anything about cars. You can develop that on your own for sure, and you should. But if you do it now, then whatever you have been doing till now is not going to be really useful, right?
Yeah. Okay, but okay, sir.
But you want to draw the car.
Developed it.
Huh? Huh?
I actually developed my design, sir.
Yeah, so that's good.
I just wanted to show it to you, but okay, sir. Damn.
No, but I'm saying you can and you should.
Yes, sir. Fine. It was just my imagination, but it turned out into something. So, okay.
Yeah, but I don't understand why you are you sound a little bit disappointed.
No, sir. Like all these normal things, like hair dryer and everything. Yes, I could do it, but I found it that whatever I did today was much more creative than the Vaseline bottle I did yesterday.
So what did you do today?
So
You
I
did the
created
car.
my own concept car, like a whole
Okay,
new
you did
design.
it right now within the workshop. I thought you were already speaking of something that you thought
No.
of a long time back. Yeah,
I
sure.
did 4 or 5 designs and now I'm on the final stage
Yeah,
of a sports
so
concept.
develop it. Yeah, sure.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, but you don't have to thank me. I don't know who it was. Who was it? I forgot. I don't see your name.
So me,
Soham.
Soham, sir. I thought that
Yes.
we couldn't do it, and I'm like super happy now. Thank you so much, sir. I'll just develop it and I'll do my best, sir.
Yeah, but now if I tell you not to do it, will you be sad again? So that's my point. Yeah. So it's not for an external person to tell you what to do or what not to do.
Yes,
See,
sir.
even when you're in the class, in the school, wherever you go, you will always get people who are, going to tell you what to do and what to not to do. But that's not because they want you. That's not because they want to control you. They're just
Yes,
going to
sir.
tell you what is the most relevant according to them at that point. Of course, you can do a concept car. Of course, you can do, a space shuttle. And yes, sure, go on. but is it the right thing at the right time is the question, or is it something that is really going to, does it fit? Because you have spent 2 hours yesterday and you have spent two hours now, but if you feel that you have learned something yesterday which now you have applied to a new product or a new object and you want to do it, sure, do it.
Yes, sir.
No one is going to, I'm not going to say that no, my assignment was about product, so you only have to do a hair dryer, otherwise I'm not going to see it. It's not about that, right? And see this definition of, so again, I'm not saying this only to you, I'm just saying it generally. The definition of a product or transport or identity or visual design is quite fluid also, right? I mean, so is, so are do you feel a, do you feel shoes are products or transport?
Shoes are products.
But shoes help you to go from, or let's say shoes with wheels. Are they a product or are they transport?
I mean, bit of both. Like, help you to
So
transport as well, keep your feet safe. So product as well as your transport. If you
So-
don't have anything else.
So is your is a skateboard a product, or would a product designer design a skateboard or a transport designer?
A product designer would, I guess.
Okay, but now if you have an autonomous car where what you're sitting in is just a box, there's no steering wheel, there's no accelerator, there is no gear shifter, there is no instrument console because you don't control anything. So it's almost like a fridge, let's say, or like a room. Then would a transportation designer design it, or would an architect design it? That's the question, right? So things are changing. Things will be different when you are there. Things will be different after you're there. So always do. So I don't want to give you an advice and say that, you know, do what you want. That's not what I'm saying at all. Always try to understand why people are saying, or let's say if I'm there and I'm telling you to do a product. Okay, there are two ways you could take it. You could say that, yeah, it's an assignment and I have to do a hair dryer. I hate hair dryers, but I'm going to do it and finish it.
So
Or
yes, so
you
whatever you said was like awesome. I mean, like I understood ideation, but I'm like crazy about cars. Like when it comes to even product or something, it just my mind just thinks about cars. I don't know why, sir. So it just came to my imagination. I put it down on paper.
Which is
So
fine. Which is fine.
So, if I could just add to that, yes, of course, I totally understand you're passionate and you really like cars. That's absolutely fine. But you must at the same time be open to exploring other things as well, like products or graphic or something. I'm not saying you have to do that, but I mean from an education point of view, from a learning point of view, I'm just saying.
Yes, sir. I totally understand. I tried my Vaseline idea that much. It did not come out well. So this idea popped up. So that's
Sure,
why I.
sure. I'll leave it to your whatever you would like to do. Okay. Anyway, students, basically what I wanted to say, tell you all is that exercise number 3 has been uploaded. And if you go on Edge, so you'll say exercise number 3 is create a concept page. Is that correct, Mandar? Create a concept page? Yeah, for your product. And so if you go there, there are 3, you can upload 3 images. Okay, so there's question 1, 2, 3. So please make more than 1 concept page, and you can upload up to 3. If you'll need more, we can upload more. Okay, so please upload your work that you're doing right now, exercise number 3.
Yeah, so I'm just using Soham's point and what Sean said is also absolutely imperative, because, you know, the worst kind of designers are the ones who have done only one thing. The worst automotive designers are the ones who have not drawn anything else apart from apart from cars. Because design is also about influence and about taking unrelated things and really seeing about how people behave, right? So and the other point is, I can completely understand that sometimes an idea pops into your head and you're not in control of it. It just happens and then it looks good and then you are quite excited about it, so that's great. But you also said that, you know, that there's a danger that someone is happy.
Beatrice, can you mute your mic, please? Beatrice.
Yeah. I think he met someone after a long time. Huh? Oh, yesterday there was some music happening in the class, is it? I heard some music at some time. We could have some music if that's okay. As we are sketching.
Basically, my wife is a music teacher and she has her classes.
Ah.
So you could hear some
Oh,
music
cool.
there.
Cool. Music is nice. Music is nice. At start, we sometimes have these sketch sessions where there's just some music, and no one is in control of the music, because the idea is not to listen to what you've been listening to, or what you've been very comfortable with. The idea is to bombard your mind with new sound, new stimulus, so that something new comes out as well.
So I have a doubt.
Sure.
This is my first class, and so I made like a product, like you said. But then the way I made it, it's more like it's kind of telling a story. Like it has the look of it, it has how it works, it has the scenario it would be used in, all in like one page. What am I supposed to do with that? Like, should I redraw it in different pages?
Can you upload it? Because if I see, then
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Chaitanya.
Sir, by what time should we upload our work?
I'd say 12:45 maybe.
Yes, sir, I'll do. Thank you so much.
Or 12:30? No, it's fine. 12:45 is fine. Right. So maybe I have this. Maybe I'm thinking that I'll maybe take this as my final page as well. I've taken it a little bit more than I would have liked, but that's okay. So remember, plan your page. All of your concepts, each concept will have something else that you will need to show to be able to communicate it well. It's not going to be the same for each person. Don't worry about making only one final page. Start developing, and if that page goes a little bit bad, it's okay. You can put another, you can trace it out and kind of do another one. The more you do and the faster you do, the more you'll improve. So yeah.
So one thing I understood from yesterday, or even the ideation process that I learned, is like whenever you try to structure something in your mind, it just evolves every time you put it on paper.
Absolutely. That's well put.
Just like every time I see one of your designs, or every time I see Zaha Hadid's architecture, it's like every time from like one page to the fifth page, there is totally different things. It's awesome. Anyways, thank you so much, sir.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Sir, can you write comments about each design that you're trying to do and how you want to implement it for the next design?
Sorry. Can you please repeat it?
So if I want to fix something of my first design and I'm trying to like figure out the next design for it, can I write a comment saying it's too chunky or something like that to keep myself going?
I'm sorry, the voice was really. So you're talking about how to move from or how to improve.
Exactly.
The design.
So, instead of like always just like like of course like drawing it out, but at the same time, can I like write right next to it like this is too chunky, and then keep moving on with other comments about each failure of a design?
Yes, absolutely. And not only that, you could do a little bit of a quick sketch, quick doodle, and these notes, these mental notes where you're talking about, okay, maybe too chunky, maybe too thin here, maybe the ellipse is wrong, maybe we need not have so many sensors, because what happens is, so if you're looking at the page here, maybe the idea looked nice, right? It had this nice form to it of a spring, It had this nice thing where, it could be like magic, almost like, oh, and you have the sound flowing and things like that. And I imagined it very differently when I was seeing this. Now that I've drawn this, it's not looking as nice. I'm realizing that it's looking like a series of bangles, right? Because I've done all these ellipses and stuff like that. So in a way, it's losing the essence. But now when I see this, and what you could also do is you could always compare and go back to your initial sketch. Let's say your key sketch, which you feel captures it, and they say, oh, there was something here which maybe is lost here. So then I'll put another page on top, or I'll maybe start with a new page and try to see that maybe the ellipses or maybe such big things are not working. Maybe the relative, change in variation of the front to the back is something which we need to change, and so on. So yeah, you could do quick notes here and there, which can help you in the next stage.
All right.
So how do we go about the same process in a time-bound environment like an examination?
It's a difficult and easy question to answer. Uh, in a way, a time-bound environment will make it easier for you, because let's say if you have an hour to start a project and do it from start to end, you know that you have only 5 minutes for ideation, 10 minutes for developing one, and maybe 40 minutes to really make a concept page, right? And it can and you stop at that time, no matter what the idea is. So that's something which is helpful.
Sir, I've posted mine as
Yeah.
exercise 2. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was saying that yes, the time a time driven exercise always it can help in this way. Uh, but of course, there is the added stress. So I think it forces you to be efficient. So we do a lot of 1 hour design challenges or creative challenges in school, where it really forces you to be efficient with your lines and efficient with the amount of effort that you're putting into the sketch, right? And the more you do it, the better it will be. So it forces you to see that, okay, what is the minimum that you can do which will still get the job done. So as an example, here I was drawing 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 ellipses to show. Here I am drawing only 1 2 3 4 5 because I feel that 5 are enough to show, because this is not actually how the product is going to be made, right? So I'm reducing the amount of things to be done, and I'm increasing the time I'm getting to detail it out. Of course, it's a short exercise because design does not happen in an hour, right? I'm only exploring one aspect of my initial idea, which was this new architecture of how a hair dryer could be, which can dry hair with sound. Now I'm making a big assumption here that that will be figured out how it works. And I'm just using this as an example to build a sketch page. You might come back and say that, yes, but I still don't understand how it works because, how can sound dry your hair, let's say. So I don't have an answer to that question yet. But I feel that in order to get an answer to that question, I need to at least draw it first. Yeah. And I'm looking at it more like a conceptual uh, exercise and an exercise for creativity, let's say, not really design in detail. Because what I would do is I would study up a little bit on sound. I would think of how sound travels. Here also, I'm still not convinced that the hand will fit and how it will be. Okay, so maybe I've added one more, and maybe here I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Yeah, and maybe do another here. So let me just see some of the work that is coming in. I'll share my screen here. So if you could switch to my other screen where I'm sharing it. So this will be exercise 3, right? Yeah. I have to load the image.
Sir?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I have posted mine in exercise 2 because this is my first class.
Okay, okay.
So the name is Abhilasha GK. I think for your first one.
This one?
Sir, your voice is echoing like crazy.
Yes, yes, yes. Is it
Yes,
better?
sir.
I think it's because you have switched on 2 or more microphones at one go.
I know, I know, I know.
Is it better now?
Yes, sir.
Is it better now? Okay, let's. And can you still see the screen?
Yes, sir.
All right, just give me a minute to switch between the two. Yes, so this is the one.
Yes, sir. It went more like a story, so there's a lot of words in between
Yeah,
also.
sure.
So as you
I
can see,
would,
I've tried to make
so
a
I would
fun.
suggest,
Yes, sir.
I would suggest that you draw on blank paper. That's always better, and not on a ruled book. It's not just about how it looks, it's also about how it, the minute you see a ruled book in your mind, you're forced to be linear. Okay, the rule book really forces us visually to go step by step, and it hinders creative thinking. So start, always do it on even if it's a very rough paper, do it on a blank sheet of paper. What I find interesting is I see a lot of human elements there, and I can see the story. It's always nice to have a story. Every product at the end has a story to it, so that's nice. You have tried to highlight a few things here and there, but I don't see the story so much. So I would suggest that you draw it on a blank piece of paper. You try to highlight the story to maybe, let's say, 4 points or 4 big things. This happens, then this happens, then this happens, which is the highlight of the story, and then the story ends, let's say. You have fun plus language is funage. So you've taken a seat and you've taken how can the seat really travel and create like a new idea, is it?
Yes, it's kind of like a luggage where every time I've gone to the airport, I see that children really want to sit on their luggage for some reason and not walk around.
So
Yeah.
you still have a product, right? So I would still suggest that you draw the product on one side, let's say, and then you draw the product on one side and then you make the story on the other. You
Yes,
need
sir.
not have to draw the product for your story. You can represent it like a cylinder, which is what you've done. But right now, the story takes the precedence and the importance, and I don't see your product so much. So try to find that balance. Yeah.
Got it, sir. Thank you.
Welcome. All right. So just give me a minute or so. It's 12:15, so I think we'll go on for another half an hour. Make sure that you are planning your sheet. You'll not be able to do a finished one, let's say so much. But what I'm looking for is your thought process as to what I'm looking for is your decision of what to include in your final sheet. Yeah. Here you would see that I've darkened things a little bit more. I might do one more here. I thought I would maybe share some examples and some more sketches also with you. So just give me a minute. I'm going to stop the share here. All right. Sorry. Yeah, so I will show some of the other examples in terms of how you do a final sheet, probably. So you have seen, I think, the digital version here. So again, some other examples of how. So let me know if you're able to see. You would see that all these are a little bit developed. They're more like a concept. Hello, are you able to see it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So you would see that the line work is a little better. You see a lot of some shading here. There's a background, yeah, to tie in these three sketches together. Sometimes there is some development as well. So you would see that I'm trying out different shapes in a 2D view here. Then there are, of course, there are very, different themes, different ways of doing this final sheet. But another example here. This is more of development. So once a concept is finalized, you're, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but how much time are we supposed to ideally spend on each sheet? Like specifically, is there any time or like?
Depends on which sheet.
Okay.
So if you're talking of this particular assignment, or sorry, this particular activity, you can do at the end, what I want to see are your trials. So let's say spend 10 minutes on one sheet. Okay, so let's say spend 10 minutes on a sheet like this, trying to draw it. Then look at it again and see, okay, what can be changed, what can be improved. Maybe you're not happy with a few. You can take this as a reference and do one more for another 10 minutes, and then maybe do one more if you have time. What I don't want is for you to spend 45 minutes on only one sheet and trying to make sure that all the lines and shading, and try not to make it into an illustration. Let's say it's still a sketch. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Yes. So some examples like that. Again, trying to develop a form. This is where I was trying to. Sorry. Again, using different mediums, using different techniques. So this is with a sketch pen directly. You would see that what I'm trying to do is to get a outline, or get a form. It's almost like a speed form here, where I'm trying to, I'm keeping the front constant, and I'm trying to ideate on the handles, even in 2D, just to get the overall. Then trying to plan the page. So you're seeing the behind the scenes of the finished, let's say the digital version, which you saw there. Trying to plan the page. So there is this idea of when you hold the toothbrush, maybe there is a sensor there which does something, and so on. I'll not get into the detail of the idea as such, but so this was the first attempt where I thought about how I could do it. This is the second attempt. where I really want to showcase this sensor and how it is held. I want to showcase the form, and I want to. This is also 1:1, so I'm able to. Yeah, so I'm doing this 1:1 because then if I render it, I can cut it out, and then I can probably make some 3D thing out of it. Trying out some basic colors, color blocking. Color also always helps to bring out something new. We didn't do so much color because it's very easy to get lost in the color, and it's very easy. It's very overpowering, right? So we want to get the basics right first, and then kind of move to rendering, let's say. And then finally, this is a Xerox of the sketch. I don't have the original with me now. So this is where it was kind of the finalized one with a name and some things around it. So that's how you would typically, or at least in some projects, you would proceed like that. In others, you would probably do just a few sketches and then jump into 3D to validate things and so on. Yeah, so it's going to be different for different projects. But every time, try to make sure that you have the objective in mind. So if you're doing something which is a little bit more finished, or something similar to what we saw earlier, just give me a minute. Too many pages here. Yeah. So if you're doing something a little bit more finished, then it's fine to spend a little bit more time on it. Yeah. But if it's something which is very, which is at the initial part of the ideation stage, then you would do it more like this, where it's quick, it's super dirty, messy. There are some text, and you're not stopping at any time. You're letting your hands do the work. Yeah. So people see this. All right. Yeah. Okay, so let me know if you have uploaded any.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So my idea is like it's not like very scientifically. I don't know if it will work out. I've uploaded one picture about the
Okay.
concept sketch. So could you just check and tell me if it is like the right way to go about it?
Right, so let me just share my screen. Is it in the exercise 2 or 3?
Sir, in 3. This is Nikita.
Checking. Yeah. Oh, okay. You have, I see the eyes and the smile, so that's nice.
So this is basically I've tried to make it like a toy.
Let me understand, Nikita. So let me see if I can understand, because then it will be the.
Yes, sir.
What you want is for the sketch to really communicate. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
for kids monitor, it's a pen. You have audio receptors, you have a scanner, a cushioning handle. Okay. Scan the image drawn with a pen and record live noises. And then you have a hologram of a drawn image. Trace the object on the graphic tablet provided to get your own 3D animated. All right. So you have an interesting idea for sure. I think there's a lot happening on the page. Yeah. Uh, Especially in point 3 where, you know, I kind of miss what all is going to happen. So 1, 2, I understand, and I understand the object as well. You have tried to draw the two views of the object, so that's nice. Pen looks a little bit big, you know, compared to the kid's hand, let's say, but that's okay. It could be an interesting thing to do. I think you're talking of a lot of things, but now think of what is the one thing which is unique, or which could be the highlight, let's say, of your idea, and maybe try to do a scenario where you're highlighting that, instead of, you know, showcasing all of the three. So maybe the point 3, 1, 2 could be small, and then 3 is a little bit bigger. So do it on a A4 paper. I think idea is good. You just have to present it a little better now.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Sir, even I've uploaded mine. My name is
What's your name?
Arushi.
Arush?
Arushi.
Arushi, sorry. Okay, I'm going to refresh it and then move there.
So even I've uploaded mine, sir.
Arushi, I don't see. Is Arushi, is this the one?
No, sir, that's not mine.
So that's my.
Sir, I'll try uploading it again, maybe.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, whose was this?
So can you check mine?
So
Will do.
it's mine.
So let's go one by one. I mean, let's see who all is there. Okay, inside of the helmet strap. Okay, the helmet plus torch plus LED. Again, for a helmet, it's nicer to draw it in 2D. I don't see the helmet so much. It could be interesting to have the, I have the face and I have this. So, okay. When using color, make sure that you're using color sparingly. Here you would see that there's only one. Using blue and orange together really doesn't, you know, make it look.
I just found those
Because
two
it
next
is
to
black,
me.
blue, orange, right? And then you have the pencil. There are too many things happening there. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
the
Refresh
Was
one
it the
for
one?
mine.
just uploaded in the next assignment.
Sorry, which one? Oh, the next question, is it?
Yeah, I mean, I have to upload them. I'll just upload them.
All right.
So I've uploaded mine. My name is Rishta.
Yes, I think I was seeing Rishta. Yes. Okay, you have the basic idea is the door handle which gives a sanitizer. Okay, nice. You have focused a lot on the mechanism. Okay, you have taken a decision to show how it works more than how it looks, which can work here because it's going to be a door handle at the end. Maybe an interesting point here is how will people know that it is a sanitizer as well, because usually they would just open the, and the other thing to think about is when you turn the door handle, you're already pulling the door a bit, right? So it will be nice to see it in a scenario. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'll do that. Thank you.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, could you check my product design? I didn't attend the class yesterday. Exercise 2.
Okay, I'm going to exercise 2. Your name, please.
Mrudula.
This one.
Yes, sir.
You have a brush plus alarm plus speaker. Okay. Yeah, I think that's an interesting architecture for the brush. It seems as if you can, it gives me the idea of a lot of modules which you can plug in. But it doesn't look too comfortable to hold. You would see that every time you have something that you hold, it could be a hair dryer, it could be a drill, it could be the grip of Activa, it could be a pillow. There's a certain level of softness there, right?
Yes.
Which kind of tells you that it's okay to hold, it's safe to hold it, let's say. So
Okay.
I think in that way, this seems as if something is on the tabletop. But the sketch is okay. Perspective is okay. I think in terms of the form and in terms of the detail, I think you can work on it a little bit more. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Sir, I have uploaded it for the exercise 3. Uh,
Yeah. Which one? Arushi? No.
no, sir. I'm Asmita.
Um, is in question 2, is it?
No, it's question 3 only.
Question 3. Okay, okay. Sorry. It's not all. Yes. Okay, it's still uploading. Let's try question 3. Okay, I'll come back to question 2 and then we'll see question 3 a little later. So you have around 10 minutes.
So it's uploaded under question 2.
So under question 1, can you check mine, Arushi?
Check it, yeah. Um, since it's uploading, okay, I'm gonna go back to question 1 till that time. Yeah, for Arushi, okay. Again, I see a lot of colors, so try to use them sparingly because color is the first thing that someone sees and it's quite powerful as well. So you have the blue, the pink, the fluorescent, the black, the 2 shades of black and so on. So you have get warm,
yes, sir,
water cold and storage of water. So it's a bottle which can be hot and cold, and you have something as a fan on the top.
so it's
It's
basically a should I explain it, sir?
no. I think I need to. That's the objective of the sketch, right? The concept sketch that I need to understand it. So I see a lot of detail, but I don't see that one thing which really explains what is the USP of it. So okay, I understand there are suction tapes, and then there is this goes inside this, and then you have the top view. What does it do at the end? And I don't see a human element there in terms of So try to figure out. So in the earlier example, we use this the straw to explain how things are. So here, are you talking about hot and cold and a bottle which can be both? Is that what you're saying?
Basically what I'm trying to show is that, like, if it's really hot, then the bottle itself, the from the cap, fans come out and you can use it as a fan, and it works on the principle of a water cooler. So the suction tube, it takes the water from the water bottle, and using that same the water cooler concept, it gives water so you feel cool. And if it's hot, the outside, there are 2 layers of it. So the outside layer, it's temperature controlled. You can change the temperature and it becomes warm accordingly to your temperature. And you can use it like during winters, you hold on to something really hot to give you warmth. So it's something like that. And the bottom part, it's used to hold items. Like if you're on travel, you can store snacks in it or your keys or something that can get lost easily.
Okay. So you have, so your concept is about the two uses. It's a dual use hot and cold bottle. Not really hot and cold, but the two uses of the bottle.
Yes, sir.
What you could have done is, I think you've gone too much into how it works again, without really showcasing the context, because I really didn't understand that, you know, why is there this fan or what. I understood some of the technical reasons behind it, but I didn't understand the objective of it. I didn't understand that how does it affect me from a user point of view. So try to explain that more. Try to explain uh, how is it used, why is it good, or why is it better from a user point of view. Explain the overall idea of what it does. Okay, this is a bottle which becomes a fan on one side and a heater on the other, simply. Now, of course, you know, it's not really literally a fan and a heater, but it explains that idea, right? So you have the phrase that you're, you know, burning the candle at.
Are you sharing your drawing screen because I can't see it?
No, I'm drawing and I'll share it after, because I need to connect the phone. So
Excuse me, sir.
Okay,
yeah,
sir.
So Soham here, under question 3, I've uploaded my sketches, my full car, and the low and all
sure.
that, sir. Please, can you please check?
Yes, I will after this.
So can you
Yes,
also
so me
reload
too.
page
I go
one?
by Jagdish Gupta.
Question 3, sir. Soham.
So then after that, can you also reload
Oh, I
question
see,
one?
but I don't. I'll see after it's. Just give me a minute. Yeah, are you able to see the sketch? Let's give me a minute. Yeah, so this is what I was saying. So as an example, who was I talking to before?
So me, Arushi.
Arushi, right? Yeah. So this is what I'm saying, where, okay, so I'm going to take this example and see how the, so again, I'm taking an example of a physical object to kind of see how my hand would go around it. So I'm just going to, I don't know if you're able to see it so much. Yeah, so this is how you could explain it, right? And then you could, because you've used color, so I want to see how we can use colors to our advantage here. So I'm highlighting one part with green. Green is also cooler, and you know, it's cold and stuff like that. And I'm highlighting the other part with orange. Again, I'm just using whatever I have. So these are just some any highlighter, any. I'm highlighting the hand as well, because I want to really emphasize that you are holding the bottle like that. So now you have clearly differentiated the page into two parts. You have, you know, you have the day and night, you have the summer and winter, let's say. And then I'm going to darken it. So maybe this is not exactly how you have imagined the concept, but this is just an example of what I'm thinking after listening to you. So I'm now trying to make a concept page, darkening things. Again, even if they are not really accurate, it's fine for now. Okay, I'm trying to make it look a little bit more like a bottle. And then I'm trying to draw the same thing here, because it's the same bottle which kind of transforms, right? So, okay, so I'm darkening it here. You would see that I've used the same size. I've kept everything same about the bottle. I mean, as much as I can. If I had more time, then I would kind of sketch it on a different page and trace it out so that it's the same, looks like the same bottle. I'm going to darken the hand here because I really want to emphasize that this is being held, let's say. Yeah. And now what is happening is you're using color, but you're using it to differentiate. So there is a use for the color. So where you can say that, okay, you have, and probably, let's try to stylize it and make it a little bit more clearer. So you could probably say that this is summer and this is winter. So you can probably is it right? Or maybe I did it the other way. Yeah. So for summer, it keeps you cool. And for winter, it keeps you warm, let's say. So you have the summer part and the winter part. And here, okay, just a quick shadow on the other side. So I'm playing with the symmetry. I'm playing with the page layout as well. This still doesn't look like a hand, so I'm just going to put a little bit of a detail here and then add some shadow. Okay, just 2 lines here to show that it's uh, very cylindrical. 2 lines here. You would see that I have not really added any of the technical details yet. I could probably do that in a small part here. Okay, so with 2D view to show that this is how it would be, and then there is something inside. So I'm just indicating it here. So I have a smallish 2D view. I'll put some, this is how it works. So let's say you have this. And then here as well, what I want to highlight are maybe the 2 different ends of the bottle. So what I'll do is here I'll darken and add details to the top end. So I'm adding a contour line and I'm adding a little bit of a shadow. Here also I'll try to add a double line to the fan, exaggerating a little bit, but okay, so maybe the fans are, let's say, something like that. Also a little bit of a shadow of the fan itself because the fan is jutting out. So again, I'm using the same angle for the hatching and adding just a little bit of a shadow here. And what I'll do for the opposite is, let's say I want to emphasize that there is some sort of a texture or some sort of a heating element, right? I mean, even if it's not a real element, I want to emphasize that. So I'm going to darken the bottom part of this part. Okay, and then maybe kind of emphasize that there are all these things and this kind of radiates heat, right? So the bottom part is radiating heat so that you stay for warm, and the top part is uh, maybe I'll also add a few lines to show that it's rotating, maybe a few lines like that on top. You could do a small arrow as well. Yeah. And then maybe here add again of all these are symbols which are commonly used, right? So you're talking of radiating heat, you're kind of showcasing it here. A name for the concept, maybe your name, details here. So then we have used color in a way which kind of differentiates the two. Yeah.
So can we also, instead of just color, can we use different line weights, like different
You could.
thicknesses of markers?
You could. Yes. Color is one way, but then the thing is, if you're using different line weights, it means that you're emphasizing one more than the other. If one is light and the other is dark.
No, like for the lines that you drew around the arrow, we could have used like really thin ones. And for the other parts, or if you want to emphasize on one, like something that you want to zoom into something and show, then we can use thick ones like that. Or will it look too extra with color?
You'll have to do it and see. What I'm trying to say is you can use color, but you use it under control.
Okay.
For a specific objective. Here, I used it to differentiate the summer and the winter, right?
Yes, sir.
I didn't put orange here and I didn't mix them, let's say. So the color is kind of showing me the two versions of the same bottle. Yeah.
Then how much do we actually on a concept page, how much do we get into the mechanism?
So again, it depends on, it's not that you will have only one concept page. So usually when you are, again, it's going to be different for different projects. But when you're starting out and when you're, just stepping into the world of design, see, you're not going to be the expert in terms of mechanisms, right? You're not going to be an expert in terms of manufacturing or how things are made or what is the cost and so on. And that is not expected as well. What is expected is that you would come out with some fresh thinking, some new ideas, because you don't know a lot of things, and that's your advantage. So when you're doing a concept like this, the focus should be more on how it solves a problem or what it does, and not exactly the zoomed in version of how it does it. So for example, here you're saying that one bottle and two uses. Can the hot become cold and can the cold become hot? So it's a vision, it's a global idea, right? Now how it is implemented, whether it will be implemented through an actual fan and an actual heating coil, remains to be seen, right? But if you go into the detail of, oh, there is this fan and the fan is connected by a shaft and then there is a gear here, and when this happens, then uh, don't go zoomed in into the uh, detail before you explain the global context. So I'll give you one last example as well. If you ask me where I stay, and let's say if we meet for the first time and you ask me, okay, so where are you from? And I say that, yeah, I stay on the 16th floor and my flat number is 904. So you're not going to understand anything, right? It doesn't mean anything to you. So similarly, if I explain a concept and say that, okay, it's about a bevel gear or it's about how, the internals, it's not going to work. But if I say that, yeah, I stay in Bangalore, I've been here for 2 years, I stay in this area, and then I put the context first and then give you the as much details as are required. So moving from an idea, or let's say a doodle like this, to an idea, you would put down what is the use of this object to me as a user. What does it do to me? It helps me. So this bottle will help me stay cool in summer and warm in winter. Or this is a bottle which not only has water, but it's a temperature control. Or this is a bottle which uses inherent water temperature and puts it to a new use, right? So this is one sentence, one line, um, one thing which really tells me that, okay, at the end of the day, if the mechanism works and bottle is cheap and it's sustainable, or after all that, if I buy it, how will my life change? What is it, right? So okay, if I get this bottle, I will be able to sit outside and have my chai even in the cold, because it will keep me warm, let's say. Now, whether it does it through a membrane, through a coil, through blah, 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 we'll see afterwards. It's not going to, yeah. I don't know if it answered your question.
No, sir, it answered my question. Thank you.
So can you please review mine, Soham? Question 3.
Yes, sir, mine too. Jagdish
Yes, sir,
Gupta,
mine too.
question 3.
Yes.
Excuse me,
Draw
sir.
fast sketches once.
Excuse me, sir. Could you even review my
Yes.
concept as well?
So just give me going back.
Mandar, while you do that, there are also questions on what pen you're using. Is it Uniball or whatever? So maybe you might want to tell them.
Yes.
The magic
Yes,
is
sir,
in
I
the pen
want to
or in
know
the
what
hand.
pencil you're using.
So
The yellow one.
So I'm going to say this as bluntly as I can. So I'm going to give you some contradicting advice. Yes, the pens are important, but they don't make. Okay. So having said that, uh, you're still able to see the screen, right? The sketch screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is Schneider. I think it's 20 rupees or something. I don't know, 20, 25. So it's not that expensive. So I like this. Again, it's going to be all about personally what do you like and what feels better, and the more you explore the better. This okay, so this I like because I can get extremely light lines. You would say that there is extremely light lines here as well as dark ones. Yeah, and I can do a lot of maybe illustration work with this, and I like the, to me personally, the sound the pen makes is also something that I look for, so I like this. This is a big, so a big uniball crystal. I don't know which detail it has, but so a big is also good. It has a faster flow, so it has a very different feel to it. I personally can't get as light lines, but the darker lines are much darker, so it's at a
Sir,
darker. Yeah,
sir, can you review my work also, sir? It's
I
Anand
will after this.
Kaushik.
Yes, sure. And then apart from that, then I would I like the uniballs. I can't find the two black ones today, I don't know why. But all of this was done directly with the black uniball. So I seldom draw with pencil because I don't I find that I get into this trap of erasing and trying to do a perfect thing. So all of this was done with the uniball. um, and pencil wise, yes, I mean there are the Pentel clutch pencils, or you have the Stedler BAB, um, 4B, and things like that. I like stationery, so I keep a variety of things and I buy a variety of things. I like the sign pen as well to do some big lines, big thick lines. So you would see that that's something which is it's nice to give an outline to it. Um, Sometimes I'm using ink pens as well, so that's also something which yeah. And then whatever is lying around, so we have a lot of stationery in the house, so whatever is lying around gets used. uh, these two are mostly what is used 80% of the time to start.
So what is the name of the yellow one again?
Schneider. It's a Schneider Tops 505F.
Sir, can you spell it?
SCHNEIDER. Right, so I think I'll share my screen again. Let me share my screen so we can see some more work. So it's exercise 3, question 1, right? Who's uploaded here?
So question 3.
So I have uploaded.
Soham, sir. I uploaded it first.
Yes, Soham. I don't see it.
Yeah,
So
the
question
card.
3.
Yeah, that one, sir. So these were the starting sketches, like I've developed it in the second and third.
Soham, I'm going to see it. Yeah, I don't see the concept so much. I like your lines. I think there is something interesting there. You started with the side view, so that's always good. Yeah, so continue like that.
Sir, I've uploaded 3 sketches, question
Yes,
1,
but
2,
I'll have
3.
to
In the
see the
third
other people
question.
as well. So
Can you
we
see
already spent
mine?
a lot of time, right? So
So can you?
Sir, mine also, sir.
So
yeah.
mine's over here
Yes.
itself.
So, anyone else for question 1?
Yes, sir.
I
Mine.
have.
So mine.
Shreya.
I don't see any of you because I'm presenting. So you have.
Me, Aditi.
Huh?
Sir, I have uploaded in question 1, Aditi.
No, even I have uploaded. Chaitanya
So
here.
even
Sir,
mine's
same here,
Sanskriti.
sir. And Anand Kaushik. Question 1.
Okay. So this is going to be difficult. So let's go quickly like this. Abhilasha. Okay. I think this interesting. Nice to see the people. So I think it's a good effort from what we have seen earlier. Nikita, yes, this is something we already saw. Shreya, pepper spray. Okay, Shreya, I don't want you to use a scale. I think you're using a scale and you're really trying to make things very accurate, and you have a box and everything is very flat. So try to do a
Sir, this isn't mine actually. Could you refresh the page?
I have done a lamp hand sanitizer.
Okay, so for whoever it was, let's say, um,
Okay, yeah.
there are more here. So we are not going to be able to see, everyone's work. So I apologize for that. But tap bottle sketch is a little dark. But okay, I like the fact that you are using a thick pen, Sujita, and you are not really worried about making a good sketch, but you're trying to get the idea down, and I can understand the idea as well. So that's good. Some perspective. I see a shelf. So for Aditi, hidden privacy. I see you have used different kinds of text. So I can understand it. Maybe a little bit, some breathing space, let's say, could be better here to understand it a little bit better. Maybe you don't need two perspective views. I think one perspective view is enough for this. Yana, okay, I think you're still maybe one stage behind, but that's fine. Try to work a little bit more and develop the idea. Yeah, so this is something that we have seen. This is something we have seen.
Sir, my work, sir.
Sir, can you see mine?
So who?
It's a little lower.
Anant
Sanskriti.
Kaushik, sir.
So can you see Yashi? It's right below your cursor.
Yeah, she. Yes. Okay, so umbrella band. Okay, a fun and interesting combination of a hairband and an umbrella. Okay, so you wear it like this, and then it becomes a. Yeah, looks nice. Try to look at the relative size of that umbrella as well, and whether it's going to really protect you. Maybe the umbrella should also have a curve, right, for the top. But idea is interesting. So
Could you view my work,
It's
Chaitanya,
nice.
here?
on this
Excuse
page,
me,
on
sir.
this page,
So can you scroll
Yeah,
down?
this page
It's
itself.
Sanskriti.
yes, yes.
So it's
So
Anant.
let's do it. Okay, so let's do it like this.
Sir, to my car,
Okay.
there were three more
Let's do
pages.
it like this. Sure.
Sketches.
Let's do it like this. Yeah. What you see on the screen. Anyone here? Does anyone see their work here on the screen?
Yes, sir. Gunj.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Gunj. Okay, nice sketches, Gunj. They look good in perspective. You have some background there. You have an interesting. You have the. I can see it's a pen holder. It's a tape dispenser. Yeah, good. Just your text is now making it look really bad. Try to do a proper text as well, and try to align your sketches now a bit, because everything is a little bit tilted, right? So it's maybe because you are also tilting when you are sketching it, and I think you are at a position where you might add a few shadows and a few details now. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
So who else on this page?
Chaitanya here. It's right below Gunj's work.
So Rachita.
Yeah. Getting bored of your regular phones? Yes, I am. Try this new foldable wallet phone. Again, I think the same thing. I see the blue more than your sketch. So always make sure that your sketch is the darkest and it's what is seen, and the text is a little bit lighter. The hatching or like this background maybe is also not working so much. You have a foldable wallet phone, but I don't see how it folds. So maybe some arrows.
It's there on the revision slide too. It's up.
Yeah, but I'm only commenting on what I see, right? So yes. So
yes.
I'm just see whatever feedback I'm giving. It's not about your potential, or it's not about what all you have done. It's just about this particular sketch, right? So.
So Anant.
Excuse me, sir.
You see,
So mine's next to Anand's as well.
where is it?
Shreya.
Where? I don't see it on this page.
So Shreya, right next to Anand.
Refresh it, sir.
Okay, Anand. Oh, you have a spring pen. You took my idea, Anand. Okay, you have a pen and a pen drive. Interesting. Pen drive and a pen. Maybe some scenario also would help, because I don't see how. Yeah, you have drawn the hand, so that's a good start. But try to now develop it more in terms of where would the pen drive be and what it would look like.
So mine is right
Sir,
next
the
to
next
Anand.
question, sir.
So mine is
Yes,
next.
but we are not going to move from. Otherwise, we'll be here for.
So mine's
Could you
below
So
refresh
mine
the
is left,
page?
Shreya.
Sir, I just
Right.
want one
So
one
mine is
chance
below
to
Chaitanya.
This is
explain my
Shweta.
card
second
sketch, sir.
question,
That's
sir.
all.
So let's move on to
I
the
know.
next.
Okay, everybody, unfortunately, we are running out of time. I know we would like to go through all the sketches, but maybe Mandar, you would like to pick one or two more?
Yeah, I'm okay to go for, let's say, 15-20 minutes more if you're okay with it.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
let's say
Sir,
30
can you
minutes.
see mine?
Just didn't want to, if you're fine with it, that's
No,
absolutely.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Then please go on. Yes.
So mine is
Sir, mine's right.
right.
Sanskriti. So it's
Sanskriti.
Sanskriti, yeah.
Finger mouse. Okay. Protective casing, bottom senses. Okay. Again, use of color. I see that, sometimes it is for the product, sometimes it is for the, actually, no, it's not for the product. So that's good. You've shown the finger as well. Yeah. Okay. What is happening is, I think the product is looking a little bit 2D and cartoonish. So I think it can work at the first stage, but now try to make it look a little bit more realistic as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Sir, can I just get one chance to explain my designs? There are 3 of them actually.
yeah, we'll go according to what we see on the screen.
Yeah,
right?
that's
Because,
mine. My car is there, sir.
yeah, but you already spoke about it. So
No, sir. Okay.
we saw it, right? It's fine. It's fine. We'll get to it.
There are 3 more to it, sir, on the pages.
I know. So, okay, anyone that we have not spoken to for question 1?
Sir, mine, I've actually uploaded a better version in question 2. Can you please review that, sir?
Yes, we'll go to question 2, but
Sir, my name is
let's do it like this, otherwise we will not be efficient. So
Sir, could you go up because the
what we'll
recently
do,
Sir,
uploaded
can you
ones
go
are
to
on
question
top?
2, sir?
What we'll do is, everyone with me, what we will do is I will scroll, and if you see your name, you stop me, and then we'll speak about that. Then we'll go to question 2. We'll do the same, and we'll go to question 3. Yeah, because if I keep moving between the questions, we are going to spend a lot of time just in that, right?
So can you start from the top because like the recently uploaded ones are on the top.
All right, so I'm going to refresh this for one last time, and then there will be no more refresh, and then we'll go from the top. Sounds good? All right. So yeah, do you see Laksha, Ritika?
Yes, sir, Laksha.
Okay.
Mine too is there.
Laksha. Okay, you have used colors. I think you have your speaker with color sensor to play the music, speaker photo frame, speaker a pleasant day, picture with a pleasant music. Interesting, you are combining music and pictures. So I think that's nice. I think the concept is good. Maybe you can do a flat view and explain the 3 different pictures with 3 different music. But I think
Okay.
it's super cool.
So Mahima at the top.
Mahima.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hair dryer umbrella. Okay. So even if your hair gets wet, it will dry on its own. So okay, interesting idea. But it means that you will have to be outside to use it, or even if even felt cold, got your hands wet on some solution to. Okay, interesting. I think you've used the colors well. A little bit too much, maybe. Maybe your arrows are also too thick, so maybe the arrows can be a little bit lighter. But interesting idea. Yeah.
So my name is Ritika. It was right at the top.
Where? Ritika? Yeah. Pop socket sanitizer. Okay. So kind of when is it the door which does this door handle or what?
No, so it's supposed to be stuck on a phone case.
It's the phone case. Sorry. It's not a door. It's a phone case. Yeah. Interesting idea. I see that you've done the half view here as well. Maybe I think the size of the phone is what is making it a little bit, or maybe you don't. So try to take a better sketch of the scenario. Yeah. Who is, anyone see your name here, which we have not met already?
So Shreya, right below Aditi.
Shreya.
Sir, Rachita.
I don't see Shreya here. Oh, Shreya, yes. Sorry. Rachita, yeah. Okay. Lamp sanitizer. Okay. Again, the same thing about the colors. Also the text. Usually, try to align all your text either, I mean, horizontally. I'm missing the size and the scale of this, but lines are okay, and the idea is also interesting. All right. Who is LOL? Okay, Gunj, we have spoken to Chaitanya. I can see that you've done the folding version also here.
No, the pen is actually on the second one.
Okay.
The previous page.
We have spoken to already. It's uploading on its own. Yeah. Okay. I think we have seen mostly all of it. Anyone? Okay, let's move to question 2, because you would have other things which are uploaded
So
there.
mine is there, sir.
Mine too, sir.
Mine was in the third
Kosh.
one, sir. I just wanted to explain you my car, but
Okay, let's see question 2, and then I don't see anything in question. Is that, or it's gone here? Okay, wait. We'll do question 2 and question 3, and then again come back if someone wants to. Yeah. No.
So Lakshya.
Question 2. In question 2, everything is coming like this.
So let's just go to question 3.
A paintbrush with inbuilt paint bottle. Okay, interesting. Ashmita, who else here? Okay, let's go to question 3 because I can't really. This one is also happening. Yeah. So
Jagdish Gupta, top right corner.
Jagdish. Toothbrush,
Sir,
interesting.
mine's Anand Kaushik.
Boredom while brushing. Okay. Control sunk in. Actually press, and you have an activated brush. You have control of the speaker, wireless charger. Okay, you're right that we do get bored during brushing. So it's electric toothbrush but plus speaker. Okay, nice. I see a lot of things. Again, the arrows are a little bit too dark compared to the. I also like the fact that you're constructing things, so I can see your construction behind. Nice one, Jagdish. Cool. Who else here?
Sir, Anand Kaushik, sir.
Bhargav left bottom.
Okay, Anant, yes. This is how the USB opens. You have the cap, pen drive. Okay, lines are interesting. You're also trying to sketch. Ellipses are a little bit off, but I think it will come with time. So good. Bhargav, you were saying, right? Yeah. Toothbrush as well. Nice views. The hatching and especially the way you've done the bristles here is a little bit off-putting. So I think and don't cross hatch so much. It kind of really breaks the sketch. You have an interesting thing where you are looking at the back and you're looking at how it will be. So that's also good.
Don't get lost. You can start the conversation. Blah, blah. Yeah, I gave my introduction here. So Lyric actually wrote her name is Lyric here. So that's how I know it was Lyric.
Yes, we got your introduction.
Okay.
Thank you for the introduction.
Pictorials. Yeah, this is the illustration that these people actually make. This is the.
Is this Bhargav?
No, so that's not me.
Okay, that's someone. Oh, we can all be quiet and listen to him say something. Okay, Ashmita, Soham. Oh, that's nice.
No, this is
Good.
not attention to.
Who else do you see here?
Question 3 is not me.
Who's speaking? Maybe someone can try to mute the person so that we can. Yeah. Anything here? Anyone?
Just to review mine, Shrikari, my name is.
Wait, it's in question 1, 2, 3.
1.
Okay, we are back to question 1. So someone else also wanted to. Let me refresh. Yeah, where is it? Hello?
Yeah, sir, but I'm not able to find it.
What is your name?
Shrikari.
Huh?
Shrikari.
I can't hear you, sorry.
Shrikari, sir.
Okay, do you see it here on the screen?
No.
Okay, Soham, you wanted to explain. Soham? Wait for him to come back. Okay, anyone else?
Excuse me, sir. I
Sir, could
actually
you
had a
stop
doubt.
in question 2?
Right there. Right.
Yeah, who had a doubt?
So I can ask it little later after you're finished reviewing.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay, sure.
So there, sir, here, like, Shrikari in the right side.
Name, please.
Shrikari, sir, is the SRIKRI. Yeah, above that. Above your cursor, yeah.
Ah, yes, sorry. Found it. Yes. So this is, okay, what is it? Bluetooth speaker, water, mixing of shampoo and water. Okay, hot water, cold water, shampoo, conditioner, music, cleansify plus motor. So shampoo and so it's a shower which gives a pre-mix, is it?
Yeah, sir.
Okay. Maybe the scenario is missing and the why, because I see, you have some repeated things. You have the red, you have the button kind of a thing here, you have it here again, and you have it here again. So you're not being efficient with your page. You're saying the same thing thrice, right? Whereas your initial, the main concept is quite small. So think of the scenario, think of why would you need this? What does it solve? Is it an experience? Is it something new and so on? Don't go again into the detail of the feature so much. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
You wanted to say something?
Excuse me, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sir, I have uploaded in question 1, sir.
Palak, right?
Yes, sir.
Palak. Yes.
So could you refresh the page, sir? I have just uploaded.
Right. So I think we'll stop in another minute. I think
So at last, could you just give me a 2 minutes just to explain my design?
Yes. So after Palak.
Yeah,
Sir,
sure.
Sir, I'm not able to upload it. I'm sorry, sir. There's some error. Sorry, sir.
You can try again. It's fine. Soham, you want to explain?
Yes, sir. I want to explain, sir.
Sir,
Question.
can you also see Rachita's? Sorry for
Rachita.
interrupting.
Sir, can you also see Nazia?
Question 1.
Yes, sir.
The question 1.
Rachita. Yes,
Do you
sir.
see
Yes.
it? You will have to. Yes, Rachita. Okay. The new vision.
Sir, I uploaded in question 2, sir. Can you see it later?
Okay. Batteries, the new vision, adjustable and batteries, but I don't see what the new vision is. The new. Okay, I am not too happy with the lines. I think you're putting a lot. I can see all your sketches in this page. All your other sketches as well. So I think you're putting a lot of pressure when you draw. So try to be a little bit lighter.
Yes, sir.
And try to arrange your page, in terms of what you want to say. Because here I see the headphones, but I don't really, okay, batteries. Yeah, but I understand that there are batteries and it's adjustable. I don't know what it does. So I don't know what is it.
So it's like a specs, but it also has the
Correct.
earphones.
But I don't see the link here apart from the blue color. I don't really understand the product. You have good confidence in the lines, but then try to make it a little bit more clearer and
Sir,
plan
I
it.
uploaded it in question 2, sir.
Okay, Soham, quickly, what did you
Yes,
want to
sir. This is just the starting. Can you go to the next question, sir? In that only. In third, there are 3 questions. In the
Okay,
third,
we'll do it after. We'll do it after.
So I uploaded it in question 2, sir. If you could check it.
Question one. Anyone else? Question 1. What you see? Question 1. If not, then we'll go to question 2. Okay, let's go to question 2 again.
Sir, I'm Veda. Could you just check in question 1?
Question 1, Veda, is it?
Yes, sir.
Do you see it? You'll have to help me a bit.
So my sketch is taking some time to upload.
Sure.
So I did it from the beginning,
Okay.
all of it in the one page.
Sorry. You have done everything in one page, okay?
Yes, sir. So the left side is the beginning.
Sure. So ideally, I would have liked to see, the final one on a concept page so that it's easier to see. It's glasses plus torch. I see a lot of text. Maybe a little bit less would have helped, but I guess you have combined everything here. You've looked at lens shapes, so I think it's good. But I don't see I think it's too crowded for me to kind of, make sense of it. It would have been better to have, 3 pages, one where you're ideating and then one where you're showing your view is okay. Usually you can get everything you want to know with a flat view. But I don't see the use as to when you would use it so much. So I think maybe the scenario is something that you can add to it now. Yeah.
Sure, sir.
All right. So let's go to question 2.
So I've uploaded, sir. Palak.
Okay. Question 1 or 2?
Question 2, sir. Question 2.
Okay.
Question 2, sir.
Yes. Yeah, the thing is, can I search or will not be able to? It's
So it should come on top, so since I just uploaded it. No, sir, this is not mine.
I know. But I can't.
So that's mine, Sophia.
Sir, can we leave the meeting if you've reviewed our work?
Yeah, I think what we can.
Yes, sir, that is my sketch.
Yeah. So just a minute.
Okay, sir. Did you go to
So
my
I uploaded it in question 3 again, sir, since question 2 isn't loading. So
Right.
can you hear me?
What we can do, Sean, if you're okay with it, let's just end here for now with just a few things I want, and then I can continue for some time for the people who still want to be.
So
Excuse me, sir, I had a doubt.
Those just 1 second, please. Those who
Yes, sir.
you've got your work reviewed, if you'd like to leave, yes, you can leave. And once again, some of you have still not filled in your attendance. I've sent the form there. Please fill in your attendance and feedback for the session. Yes, those who would like to stay on, please stay on, and you can get your work reviewed. Okay, fine.
So as just let's say
needed for again for the.
Hello.
Yes, and don't forget the 4 o'clock session, extremely important. 2 hours, almost 2.5 hours from now, please join that. It's a very good opportunity for you. The talk that's happening by Philip Wahe. Okay.
Yeah, so just to end from my side before everyone leaves, so if you could look at the sketch screen, I would encourage everyone to keep a journal, visual journal, and to draw. Remember that drawing is not only about always about a finished thing. So I just wanted to show you some examples of, so that there's a lot of text, there's a lot of staff meetings and other meetings and stuff like that. But whenever I get some chance, I try to put down my thoughts. Sometimes the sketch comes out okay, sometimes it's really bad, but that's okay because I'm all I'm doing is trying to put down what I'm thinking at that point, and then I can go back to it, and then kind of one thing can lead to the other. So please maintain a journal. This is a little bit recent, so just giving you some examples. Never stop scribbling. Okay, so it could be something very small, but minute you have a thought, idea, something that you want to explore, sometimes it can go ahead, sometimes it can just be lost, but try to put it down on paper. Yeah. So keep a journal, keep a sketchbook, and don't be drawn into what you see on Instagram to be the right kind of sketch. Anything you do is right because it's for you. Yeah, that's it from me.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
So do you still have a minute, sir?
Yes, Soham. So I'm going
Bandar,
to
let's
share.
finish Soham. It's by
Yes.
public opinion.
Yes. So I'm sharing my screen. So Soham, this one, right? Are you able to see it? No. Wait. Yes, Soham. Are you able to see it?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Soham, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm with you, sir. So
Yes.
this is my shark concept, and this is like total imagination. If you go to the next page, there is a logo of a shark, just like Rolls Royce. The wings of fantasy come out from like that. Only I've created a shark that comes out of the bonnet. If you go,
Okay. Okay, cool. I think your second page also already looks much better in terms of proportions. So that's nice, and you have some interesting details as well. So I can
yes,
already see
sir.
improvement between your first upload and the second. So that's
So
good.
can you just go to the third question? There is a logo.
So we'll now move on to something someone else. Yeah.
Sir, could you see mine, sir? Question 3,
Thank
I
you.
uploaded it in.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
The thing is can you upload it in question 1 again, because
Yes, sir, I'll try. There is some error, so I'll try again.
right.
Sir, I'm uploading mine, but yesterday in question 1 also I uploaded mouse sketches. If you could review that. My name is Aryamik.
Sure. Your name is?
Sir, Aryamik.
Sir, I see my sketch on
After that,
top.
could you see mine, sir? I uploaded it in question 1.
All right, let me just see. Aryamik, are you able to see your sketch somewhere, Aryamik?
Sir, this is Nazia. I saw my sketch on top.
Yeah, just we'll go one by one, otherwise.
Sir, it will be on a gray background.
And it's a mouse sketch, is it?
Yes, sir.
Sketch. I'll refresh it. So yes, we'll come back. Please remind me. Someone else saw something here?
So
Yes,
I
sir,
uploaded
Nazia.
mine. Could you refresh it?
Yeah, I'll refresh after, but here,
Yes.
someone else.
So your cursor is on my sketch.
Nazia.
Yes.
Oh, it's easel.
Yes.
No, don't miss out on painting comfort while traveling. Okay. Yeah, I think lines are good. You're drawing in perspective. You're drawing the maybe what is missing is a human element or a human scale, because usually an easel, extremely linked to the position of your hands and the body and things like that. So add that, and it could be interesting.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Anyone else here?
Yes, sir.
Who?
Pala, could you refresh it, sir?
Okay. And once we refresh, we have to see someone else as well, right? Okay. Mahima and Malvika, Nikita, Shreya, Bhargav, Abhilasha, Palak. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nice. I think that's a nice perspective. Maybe the object is looking much bigger because it's like a fisheye thing.
Yes.
The left side, it's looking good. You have magnetic clip, and then the sun gets sucked in, and yeah, so it's looking good. I think you have the right amount of light and shade as well. Maybe this is the point where things are not so clear in terms of how the surface goes, let's say, but overall, great.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
That's nice.
Sir, mine's in question 3.
Okay, but question 1, anyone else? I would suggest you upload it to question 1 again, because question 3, everything is coming a little bit jumbled. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So if you could refresh, then maybe my mouse sketch would come.
Yeah, refresh again. What was your name again? Sorry, I forgot.
Aryamik.
Aryamik. Doesn't seem like I'm seeing any Aryamik here. No. It's a mouse sketch, right? On a gray background.
Yeah, because I actually uploaded it yesterday only, but even I.
Sir, mine's Manasa. You're right
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Nice sketch, Mansa. I see the hand. I see an interesting shape. I'm guessing that it's. I think
It's one of those beauty blenders. The next picture would have a little bit more of an improvised version of the handle. Yeah, I'm not sure why the photo is uploaded like that.
Okay. It's an exercise for me.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, I like the hand. I like how you are. I think you have a sensitivity to drawing that's nice, and it's really helping you. Some of the lines are a little bit here and there, but overall it's good. We'll see the next one, I guess, in the next.
If you refresh it, I uploaded the final concept as.
Sure. So just upload it on question 1.
Exactly, I've done that.
It'll be easier to see. I'm looking for that gray mouse. The mouse is eluding me again and again. Do you see your revised sketch anywhere, Mansa?
I don't know actually. It said it's the upload revised sketch. I'm not sure how to see that.
So it'll be there only. You
Revised.
talk, you can choose the revision one.
1 minute. Yeah, you did you have a revised sketch, Manasa?
Yes, sir. I just uploaded in the revision, the uploaded revision one.
Mandar, you'll see a small yellow strip next to where students have done a revised sketch. If you can open your work.
Okay, I'm checking. It's a yellow. Okay, okay.
If you click that, revision. Yes.
Understood, understood. Yeah.
It's still uploaded wonky. I'm not sure why.
It's to make sure that I am awake on a Sunday afternoon, I think.
Sorry.
Could be interesting, no? I mean, all these issues we are facing because we are online. I mean, just imagine if we were in one room, it could have been so much better, so much simpler, so much more enjoyable, right?
Yeah, but then it's easier to meet you online, so.
Yeah, I guess, yes, you're right. That's the other advantage as well. Yeah, nice.
So I
Nice.
re-uploaded the mouse.
Yeah, so nice use of colors, Manasa. Maybe the blocks are a little bit too much at the background. They are fighting attention with the sketch. So just try to maybe optimize it, let's say, a little bit more, but nice.
Okay.
Maybe also in terms of the page layout, you have 3 or 4 things which are at the same level. Maybe you can zoom in and make one thing bigger, which really, so I like your pages, but I don't remember one thing out of it. Try to make sure that there is one thing which is the strongest, which people will remember.
All right. Okay.
Let's refresh it again and see.
Sir?
Mm-hmm.
Sir, actually, I had a question. I mean, I was curious, sir. Who is your favorite designer?
My favorite designer? Oh, that's a difficult question to answer. There are many, I mean, Glenn Kerr or Massimo Tamburini or there are many. So the thing is, I'm not very specialized, let's say, in a particular, I do a lot of different things, and I take my, let's say, inspiration from various designers as well. So I read a book about Raymond Louis a long time back, and I think Raymond Louis is one of the designers I like. just because he also did a lot of, he was being creative and kind of doing a lot of design interventions for various domains, right? So in terms of having an impact on the world. So I think that that's something that I really like Sid Mead and the conceptual designers who were.
Sid Mead is amazing. He's my favorite.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir, I had a question.
Yeah.
So I think you've already addressed, but I just lost the touch of that part. So if I have a concept idea that is a little like different, it's a little crazy, or it's something that won't seem possible at the moment. So as a designer, should I continue to like work on that idea, or because of the drawbacks, should I like change to a different idea?
So you should never, so both. Now, when I say both, what I mean is it all depends on the context and the brief. So if you're working for a client and you're trying to do a new pen, let's say you're trying to redesign the Schneider pen, yeah, and then the project is about a real world application, and you're supposed to redesign this pen in a month. Then you would start with looking at, okay, why do you want to redesign this? Is it just because you want to satisfy your own creative urge, or is there an issue? So you could think of what is it that you can change. So whenever you get a design brief, there would be a lot of constraints which come with it, right? Now the pen looks like this and it has a shape like this because it has been made in a particular way, because it has been manufactured in a particular way with a particular machine, with a particular tool, and the company has already invested a lot of money in that tool. So now you'll have to see that, okay, is this project for 2021? Is this industrial design project for 2021, where what you do has to come in the market? If that's the case, then you will have to make sure that you're respecting. So first and foremost will be the cost. Then it will be, the cost would mean that there's a manufacturing process involved. You'll have to make sure that you can, whatever you're drawing can be done within the existing manufacturing constraints, right? And then whatever you draw will be not extremely different from what it is, but you'll have to find that new thing in the same constraint. So maybe it could be a different shape for the pen, or so on. Or the other could be, the company could come to you and say that, okay, in the next 5 years, we want to know where will pens evolve, or what could be the next big idea about a pen, or can we reinvent the pen? Then you will not worry so much about whether it costs 22 rupees or 25 rupees. And then you will think of, okay, how do people write, and do people write still, or will it come back, or what? Then it could be about the colors, materials, I mean the 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 activity of writing itself. So try to think of it in terms of the 3 I's. So what I mean by that is, you have the first I, which is invention, right? So invention happens maybe once in 50 years, once in 100 years. People inventing the light bulb, the invention of the wheel, and so on, right? So in 500 years, it happens rarely. So that's invention. Invention is you're inventing something out of the ordinary and something which has never been done before. And it fundamentally can be applied and it changes things. Then you have innovation. So innovation is in a way applied invention, but innovation also means that you're taking things from one area, one domain, and you're applying it to somewhere else. Maybe you're taking the same thing but applying it in a new way. So that's innovation, and that happens maybe once every 10 years, let's say. And then
Yes, sir.
the third I, which is improvement. So improvement is where you're doing a pen which is one version better than the earlier pen. It's a little better, it's a little cheaper, it's a little bit more sustainable, and so on. So you'll have to see under what I the project fits, and what is the expectation of the client from you. Of course,
Yes, sir.
one part, but then as your role as a designer, your role is also to showcase what the possibilities are. So even if you're people are going to look forward or look up to you to ask the difficult questions, to show them a future, or to dream of a future which will be better, which will be nicer, and you are not expected to get into the detail and solve the engineering problems of today, but you are expected to understand and envision how people will live tomorrow and how we could solve those problems for them, right? So that's
Yes, sir.
it's a
Yes,
long,
sir.
but I try to cover a few points with it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Right. Maybe I think this is a good point also, Sean, to stop.
Sir, can you refresh it one more time, sir?
I'll refresh it one more time. Okay. The mouse, right? The gray mouse. No, I don't see it here.
Sir, the first one, sir, on the top.
Here. This one. The bag.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, you have an Apple logo on it. All right. When closed, the suitcase is used as a tab, and when open, can be used as a laptop. Why search for a device in bag, whereas the bag can be used as a device? Okay. You're turning a bag into a device. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I think it's as a first sketch, it works. Of course, the bag looks a little bit old school, and whether you would want the laptop in a bag, and if that's the case, then how will things work? Because for a product like this, it is going to be all in the detail, because from outside it will just be a plain bag, but then there will be a lot of problem solving and design development required for this particular one. Because right now it also means that if I'm using a laptop on my lap, I'll have to put this big bag and this heavy lid also on my lap, right? So think of a scenario as to your point one or the last point, why search for devices in a bag where the bag can be used as a device. Try to make a scenario as to when this will work, or what is the scenario in which this is an advantage. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Mostly while traveling, sir.
Could you just review the one next to that, Mandar, Sophia?
Just 1 minute. Sophia, yeah, here. Are you able to see this one?
The second one. Yes, sir.
Second, this is the original.
That one, that one.
This one, right? Yeah. Okay, pepper mill and hand mixer. Okay, interesting. You've shown the hand, you've shown the time, but why? So pepper mill and hand mixer, but why would you combine the two? What is the use case scenario?
It saves us space, I guess.
Okay, but then I think you will have to showcase the scenario here, because and because you have a hand mixer and there's something happening, and then the pepper mill come off and then do, because you usually you would keep a pepper mill on a dining table also, right?
Yeah.
Because you can take it. So then would you keep this mixer there? Why would you? When the mixer has to be washed. So try to think through the, like what I said earlier, the ideal scenario where this makes sense. I can understand that it will not make sense for everyone, and it's just a creative exercise. But to showcase the concept, you'll have to showcase it in an ideal scenario. So make the scenario for that. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right. So I think we'll have to stop. It's like 1:40. I think you also have other things to do. So it's been a pleasure. It's been fun. Try to keep sketching and doodling.
Thank you so much, Mandar.
Thank you, sir.
Extra.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure. Yeah. See you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
My
Thank you,
pleasure.
sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks.
Thank you, and see you all at 4 o'clock.
Yeah. See you at 4.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
So could you just show the page once, which is there with the vehicle sketches?
Yeah,
So sir, do you always like start with like the modeling plane and stuff, or do you just eyeball the perspective?
I started by eyeballing it because I didn't know how to construct when I was in school and in the notebook and everywhere else. But then I moved to constructing. So then I constructed a lot and now I'm back to eyeballing it. But now I know the construction behind the guesswork, let's say.
Oh, because I'm having difficulties with getting it in perspective properly.
It will come with time. It will come with time. Don't put yourself under the, and more importantly, don't just look at Instagram and the finished renders. Okay.
Yeah.
Presentation renders done afterwards. So design will be about putting your ideas on paper, even if it's for cards.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So I'll take your leave. Thank you. And bye.